Yeah, this is case number 212 on the calendar in the matter of Kavanaugh versus Klein.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Kavanaugh, the defendant and your son were in a long-term relationship, although I don't see here that they were ever married. Is that true? Not married?
No, we weren't.
But you have 3 children together?
Yes, we do.
So how long did this relationship last?
Lasted 16 years.
Just for my own curiosity, is there any reason why you chose not to marry?
I don't really believe in marriage. I'm too afraid to get married. Divorce is too expensive.
Your claim is that Miss Klein has some property that belongs to you.
Yes, she does.
In her home.
Yes.
After, of course, your son left. You want it back. And you also claim that Miss Klein made false charges to the Child Protective Services Agency about you, causing you severe stress. Miss Klein says she did not make those calls to Child Protective Services. She knows who did.
Yeah.
She says her girls did.
My girls did, and also Cassie and Christy, who are her witnesses.
And
they did it at their house.
And she said they found things that were troublesome to them. As far as the property is concerned, she says the property is hers. The property we're talking about is a pool table, is that right?
No, it's a poker
table.
Card table or coffee table.
Okay. According to what you said, Miss Kavanaugh, in your complaint, you gave this poker table, this table, to your son as a gift.
I lent it to him.
No, that's not what you said. You said you gave it to your son as a gift. You want me to read you what you wrote?
No, that's fine.
Just, I know that you dispute that. I had given my son a custom-built poker table for his birthday.
Correct.
So let's deal with the poker table because that makes my life very easy. You have no interest whatsoever in the poker table.
Okay.
Got it? Once you give a gift, the gift is gone. And I don't see your son here. If he wants the poker table back, and if it's his, it's certainly not marital property because these people weren't married. So if he wants the poker table back, he can have it. But you can't because it doesn't belong to you. It would be like birds suing for the poker table. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to the allegations of abuse and or neglect that were made to Child Protective Services. When did your son and the defendant separate?
February, she threw him out.
Were you working during the 16 years you lived together?
Yes, I was. I was basically the only one working in the relationship.
What were you doing?
I managed 2 bowling centers.
And who took care of the children?
Anthony usually did, and Dorothy.
What kind of work does Anthony do?
He worked on cars on the side.
No steady job?
No.
Why doesn't your son have a steady job?
He did have a steady job. He worked at the garage. It was in his name. He did have a steady job. He had his own garage at 25.
You mean for the 16 years that they lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he file tax returns on that?
No, he did not.
Well, if he had his own business and if he was making money, then that's a very serious crime that he committed by not filing tax returns for 16 years. Here he's got his mother swearing under oath that he had his own business.
He did on the side.
Hmm?
He did on the side, yes.
What do you mean on the side? On the side is something that you do when you have a full-time job elsewhere,
True.
Ms. Kavanaugh.
True.
On the side is not what you do when you have 3 children.
That's true. I agree with that.
Where is he?
He's working right now.
Doing what?
He works for Twin City Transmission.
What happened to his garage?
It was closed down after Stephanie and him got into trouble and separated.
Due to his alcohol and drug problem, he's on probation right now. And that's why he had to leave the home, because I did not want that around my kids. It took me a long time, but I was a victim of domestic violence until I got strong enough to do it on my own.
Fine. Well, he's certainly not here supporting his mother.
Or his children.
What makes you think that the defendant called Child Protective Services?
Because of the paperwork that I have and the statements that they made.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, okay.
No, don't give me all this paperwork, Ms. Kavanaugh. I want you to show me where in this paperwork it says that a call was made to this Child Protective Services by Miss Klein.
Oh, they don't do that.
Well, so what I want you to tell me is you direct my attention to somewhere in this stack of papers to evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services.
Then it would have to come from my witness who told me that.
Fine. Who's the witness? That would be you. Stand up. Who are you?
Christy.
How are you related to these people?
That's my grandma.
But that's not your mother, so you have different parents?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you live, Christy?
Down the street from her. And
down the street from your grandmother. Who do you live with?
My mom.
Now tell me what you know about Miss Klein calling Child Protective Services?
Her oldest daughter did.
Well, her oldest daughter is not her. Christy, listen to me very carefully. Do you know anything about Miss Klein
No.
calling Child Protective Services?
No.
Sit down. You have any other witnesses, Miss Kavanaugh?
I have Cassandra.
Be very careful if you're going to stand up here. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Stand up. Do you have any evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services?
No, ma'am.
That was being good and careful. Yes, Miss Kavanaugh.
Okay, there's also a countersuit from Stephanie that I called.
I haven't gotten to the countersuit yet.
Okay. Well,
Do you have any other evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services about your care of your children or grandchildren?
other than the piece of paper here that states that they investigated both her and I, which is
That's why I called him myself.
my name, Stephanie, and all 3 children, it
So the
states that
answer
it was
is you have
unfounded.
no, listen to me, so the answer is you have no evidence that it was Miss Klein who called Child Protective
No,
Services.
I cannot prove it was
So
her.
your case
No.
is dismissed in its entirety. The poker table doesn't belong to you, and you have no proof whatsoever that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services. So I don't even have to get into the fact that if she called them, whether what she said was true. Now I'll get to the counterclaim.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And when people use that child protective hotline for other reasons, it infuriates me. And if it was my world, they'd be in jail.
And later today,
If you happen to be built like you are, you have to use your strength and your girth wisely, sir. Yes, ma'am. Not like an idiot.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Kavanaugh says her son's ex-girlfriend, Stephanie Klein, made false charges to Child Protective Services. Stephanie is countersuing, claiming Dorothy's actions caused her to be fired.
Your counterclaim is that Ms. Kavanaugh called Child Protective Services with regard to you, your care of the children, and because of her harassment, you lost your job. I'd like to hear it.
I can't prove that she called, but
Then if you can't prove
Yeah,
that she
that's-
called, then you have
that
no
I
case.
I'm not positive that she called. Kids were visited because of it, in which they stated that Dorothy.
You can't tell me what they stated. Not necessary. I don't have to reach that threshold
Okay.
question because neither of you has any proof that the other was responsible for calling Child Protective Services.
That's part of
Let
my
me deal
case.
with Child Protective Services, these calls back and forth, whomever they came from. Calling Child Protective Services is like calling 911. You call 911 when there is some emergency, when you feel as if somebody is being threatened, when you feel as somebody is being placed at risk. And I'm not saying that those things weren't the case with these allegations that were made by whomever they were made. But it should be a felony in every jurisdiction, a very serious crime, for people to use calls to Child Protective Services in order to either incite or resolve or for retaliation or for retribution about some other issue because they have limited enough resources at Child Protective Services to investigate real allegations of neglect and abuse. And when people use that Child Protective hotline for other reasons, it infuriates me. And if it was my world, they'd be in jail if that's what they're using the hotline for. Having said that, we will move on to the next cause of action in your counterclaim, which is that Ms. Kavanaugh caused you to lose your job.
Yes, I had her as a sitter, also her son, who would drop the kids off to her even after I asked not to. She would get upset with them, drop them off at my work several times. She would drop them off at home unsupervised. She'd have them sitting on the porch in the middle of winter. She once set Jordan on the porch in the middle of winter with just a towel on because she didn't want to shower with her 10-year-old grandson, and she was 11 going through puberty at the time, which is disgusting.
Ms. Klein, listen to me. If what you're telling me is that because she wasn't a good babysitter, that caused you lots of stress,
Yes.
put your hand down. And you ultimately didn't show up for work, and it caused you to lose your job, you have options. Your option is get rid of her as a babysitter.
I then did, and
Then you can't sue her. I
And
mean,
got
that's your
Christy.
option.
Well, she called my work, harassing my boss, calling the cops on him. I got the
Well,
letter
just
for
one
that.
second. Is your boss here?
No, but I have a letter stated to me why I was fired and a
I'd like to see the
complaint from the Tonawanda Police Department.
I'd just like to see the letter first. Okay. Can I see the report to the police department? Did you at any time have her son arrested for anything? She says yes.
He used to
for
be-
what?
Harassment.
Well, he probably was harassing her because he's a drug addict. That's what she says. Is that true? Put your hand down. Is that true?
Not anymore, he
I
doesn't.
don't care if it's not anymore. You mean not today?
Not today, but she also is.
Listen, who's taking care of the 3 children? Who's taking care of the 3 children?
At the moment,
Yes.
a girl who had their children taken away from him, so I
Who do
heard.
the 3 children live with? I'm not talking about at this
Oh,
moment.
they live
while
with the
she's here.
mother.
They live with the mother, not with your son.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. So, when did you have him arrested?
Actually, I had him arrested once, a couple times. I had to have him removed from the house because he would come in when we were sleeping. He broke in when we weren't home. Slept in my bed when I went away.
These sources are 2006. Anything
Yeah.
happened in 2007 that's been harassment?
No.
Okay.
There was. I was afraid to do it. She's evil and very vindictive.
What do you want?
We both filed harassment against each other.
Well, I don't know why you should have anything to do with her except positive things with regard to your grandchildren, Miss Kavanaugh. You
I
have a
took
son
her-
that's problematic.
I took her
You
to
have,
court.
listen to me.
Yes.
Carefully.
Yes.
You have a son who's a problem.
Yes.
You have the mother of your grandchildren who has been supporting the family for 16 years because your son is a bum. There's no question that he's a bum because there's no question that they had to file tax returns because she worked for a company that wouldn't have paid her under the table. That your son, if he was working at all, which I somehow doubt, certainly has not filed tax returns and has not paid his fair share of our expenses as a community.
He was paying child support.
Well, what do you want me to do? Give him a gold medal for that? He made children. That's what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
Put your hand down. He's supposed to pay child support.
Yes.
A lot, not a little.
Right.
So if I wanted to be supportive, I would be as supportive as possible if you were a reasonable grandparent of my 3 grandchildren and said to my son, listen, I tried my best with you. Maybe my best wasn't good enough, but I'm certainly not going to annoy the mother of my grandchildren who's trying to keep it together. Do you get my drift?
She wasn't
That's
trying to keep it together.
Do you get my drift?
I understand you, yes.
Perfect. And I wouldn't sue her for a stupid card table because that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Goodbye. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim.
Parties are excused. You may step out, ma'am.
Because she's a wacko.
Just to hurt me even worse.
Drinking and drugs.
I wouldn't be able to afford my mortgage or my house
Both her and my son were the same.
if I was doing drugs. Nor will I be able to care for 3 children.
That the mother gets treatment for her drinking.
She does it with any one of her kids that separate from their girlfriends.
Well, I would imagine eventually somebody will catch up with her and take those children away from her.
That's what she does. She has nothing better to do than sit on her butt, smoke cigarettes, and make everyone's life a living.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bolin versus Juarez, step forward.
26-year-old Christopher Bolin is suing fellow partygoer, 18-year-old Michael Juarez, for denting his car during a fight. Michael claims the damage is not his fault.
Mr. Bolin, it is your claim that Mr. Juarez, during an argument at a party, threw someone into your car and damaged it. And Mr. Juarez says he didn't do that.
Yes.
When was the party?
May 29th of 07.
Questions are going to get harder, Mr. Bolin.
No, I'm sorry.
Who, what, when, where, and how? Those are the questions you should always come prepared to answer.
All right.
All right? What date was the party?
May 29th of 07.
Who was there?
There was a lot of people there.
In whose house was the party being held?
It was at a friend's house down the way from my house. I don't even know the person, actually.
Who knows the person?
All I know his name is Ryan.
Who did you have a fight with?
I had a fight with him right there. I don't know his name.
With you? With Richard?
Yes.
What'd you have a fight with Richard about?
It was because at the end of the party, my phone was missing, and I was trying to look for it. And I went around asking everybody. And when I went to go ask him, we had a confrontation, and then we started fighting. It was a quick, 2-minute fight. Didn't last so long.
Why did you fight with him?
Because we started arguing, because I wanted to see if he had my phone. And we started arguing, and...
No, explain that to me. Mr. Juarez, your phone was missing. You asked to see his phone.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
He said no.
Yeah?
No, that's not right.
Shh, just a second.
He
So,
said no for a minute, and then he finally showed it, and it was dark. It looked like my phone. I wanted to see it. He wouldn't let me see it. And he said, and we started getting into it.
what do you mean you started to get into it? You started to get into it.
Yeah. I
You
started getting
accused him
into
of stealing your phone.
Yeah, because I was
Did it
missing my
turn-
phone.
I'm
I was-
speaking.
I'm sorry.
Did it turn out that he stole your phone?
No.
Where was your phone?
In the car.
So you made a mistake.
Yes, I did.
So you had this fight over something stupid where you made a mistake. And you started to act physical with somebody who says, don't accuse me of being a thief. Isn't that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me about throwing somebody into a car.
I pushed him.
And he fell into a car.
Yes.
So whose fault is that? Mine?
No.
Whose fault is it?
Uh-huh.
Whose fault is it?
I just pushed him. I didn't mean to him go in the car.
Is there something wrong with you? Who is this person here?
That's my mom and my aunt.
You don't want to embarrass yourself any further in front of your mother.
No.
Whose fault is it if you pushed him and he fell into his car?
I pushed him. I didn't mean for him to fall in the car.
Your Honor, he didn't actually...
Jump! Do I look as if I need any of your help?
No, I'm sorry.
You want to have a talk with him. Is your last name Juarez?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds or less to talk to your son. Right up there.
It's your
Yeah.
Now your mother's going to sit down.
Yes.
Whose fault is it, do you think, that his car got damaged?
I pushed the man, but I don't think it's my fault because how big I am and how big he is, it'll take a lot of force for him to make a dent in the car. And if it made a dent, it would have gave injury to the man. And I'll be right here getting sued by him. That's why I feel
Whatever
it's not my
it was,
fault.
it didn't work, Mrs. Juarez. Could I please see the pictures of your car?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
18.
What do you do?
I'm a student, AVC.
Stay there. Perhaps forever. Go for continuing education. You have an estimate.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the estimate?
From Scorty's Auto Collision.
What is the
Oh,
estimate?
for
Not from
$9.95.
whom? Who, what, when?
Sorry,
when?
$995.
Mr. Juarez, you did the wrong thing. You made a mistake. You accused somebody of being a thief. When they chose not to play along with you, you started an argument. Your argument resulted in this young man's car being damaged by you. Because when you pushed him, the natural consequence of your pushing him was him falling into the car. Now, you didn't intend to damage the car. You intended to damage him. Unfortunately, the car got damaged. You're just lucky he didn't get damaged as well, because then I would have wiped up the floor with you. And so would the police department. If you happen to be built like you are, you have to use your strength and your girth wisely, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Not like an idiot.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $995. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, case number 263 on the calendar in the matter of Terrace versus Johnson.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Terrace, this is your former daughter-in-law. She was
Yes.
married to your son for a very short time, and it is your claim that she owes you some money. She owes you money for airline tickets that you claim you bought with money that was a loan to her to bring her family to see you over a Christmas holiday. You claim she owes you for some wedding expenses that you paid for, and you expected her to pay you back. And you claim that she owes you for one final thing, and that is for some family heirlooms that you gave to her in anticipation of her being your daughter-in-law for a very long time.
Yes.
Miss Johnson says that these were all gifts. She never intended to pay you back. There was never any discussion of paying you back for the items that you purchased for her. And you're just angry that she divorced your son and married somebody else. You did remarry.
Yes.
Okay. When were you married to, I assume, this gentleman? This is your son?
This is my son. I was legally married to Ethan on January 10th of '07.
And when did you separate from him?
January 25th, I believe, is when he moved out.
Why?
Because he did not want to get a job. He didn't want to pay rent. He didn't want to help with any of the household expenses.
You mean you found this out in 15 days?
Well, he...
Miss Johnson, you got married in January 10th. January 25th, 15 days later, it was over.
Yes.
Strange. Okay, tell me about the airline tickets, which is what you're complaining about first, Miss Terrace.
The airline tickets to bring Shelley and her daughters for Christmas. I flew them down.
From where?
I flew them from Denver to Las Vegas so they could come and spend Christmas with me.
You have daughters?
Yes.
How many?
2.
So you wanted her to come down and spend Christmas with you?
Yes.
With your son?
Yes.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Shelley had no money for airline tickets, and I was asked if I would purchase them, and I would be paid back.
Who told you that you were going to be paid back?
Shelley?
No, she didn't. That sounds ridiculous, Miss Terrace. You never told you were going to pay her back for the airline tickets?
No, that was an agreement with her son.
Of course not. You wanted your son to come to your house for Christmas. So you said, I'll send you airline tickets. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out, Miss Terrace. Right? Of course. I have children. If I want my children to come and spend Thanksgiving or Christmas with me, and they don't have money, I say, I'll send you the tickets. So, move on. I don't believe you that she said she was going to pay you back. What's next?
Okay. Starting with August 14th, my son discovered that Shelley had remarried on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Their marriage was not annulled until May.
Okay.
They were still living as man and wife.
Okay. Would you tell me what it is that you claim she owes you money for? I'm not the moral police.
Okay. At that time, I told them that I would help out paying for a formal wedding and a reception to be held on May 26th. At that time, after discovering that Shelley had committed bigamy by marrying a man on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Just a second. You said they were married January 10th, 2007.
Correct.
And then they were supposed to have a reception in May.
Correct.
But they were no longer living together in May of 07.
That's correct.
And you paid for what?
I paid for all wedding expenses.
And?
And I was told that I would be repaid for this. However, after...
Who told you that?
Shelley. It was an agreement that I would be paid back. And after discovering that Shelley married a man while she was still married to my son, I feel she is not entitled to anything.
Just a second. I know what you feel. When did you plan this wedding and make the payments that you're complaining about? In what
December.
Month? In December. So you made certain outlays of money.
Correct.
Had your son ever been married before?
No.
Had you been married before?
Yes, ma'am.
So you wanted to make a wedding. Where was the wedding supposed to be?
In my hometown.
In your hometown, for your family and friends.
That's...
Because your son was never married before.
That's correct.
So you said, I'll make the wedding. Miss Tarras, we know where it's going, my dear. That's what you do. You didn't expect her to pay for the wedding. She's got 2 children that she's, I assume, supporting, that they live with her. She wasn't going to make the wedding. You wanted to make the wedding in Las Vegas, where you live, where your son grew up, where you have family and friends, and you said, I'll pay for the wedding. You put down a deposit on a hall. You put down deposit on invitations, and whatever you did. The formal marriage didn't work out, and nothing came of the May event because they were already separated for 5 months by the time May rolled around. So, doesn't work out, doesn't work out. Would have been no difference if they got married January 10th and you paid for the wedding in January, and that was the formal wedding, and they separated 15 days later. You don't get your money back from her. What do you want?
I'd like to add something, Your Honor.
Go.
Amen. I moved out of the apartment on February 20th of 2007. Shelley's second ex-husband, she found out unfortunately had died, had passed away on December 1st. Shelley was having a very hard time grieving with this. And I can remember multiple times her waking up in the middle of the night telling me how much Chris was a better man than me.
Listen, does this have some relevance to your mother's lawsuit, or you just want a cathartic event? What does that have to do? Mr. Tarras, listen to me very carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand you were hurt. However, you are a very lucky man. Very lucky. Because you were about to take on a responsibility of a woman who's a little nutty. There's no question she's a nut. Because she had 2 girls, and she gave up what appears to be a perfectly reasonable guy with a perfectly reasonable family, and married somebody, according to you, who's in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's nutty. So, finding that out now, before you do something stupid like make a baby with her so that you're tied to her forever, you should go like this and say, thank you very much. If it only cost me a few $1,000s to get rid of this nut, it's a bargain. It's the bargain of the century. Do you understand, Mr. Tarras?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother should understand that, too.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've made more than 5 weddings because we had a couple of doubles in there. I know what it's like. None of my children ever paid me back for weddings. Get over it, Miss Tarras. Now move on.
And later today,
This apartment is a pigsty. Don't you clean?
I don't live like a pig, Your Honor.
How did these holes get in the wall?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandra Tarras says her ex-daughter-in-law, Miss Shelley Johnson, owes for airline tickets, wedding expenses, and the return of a family heirloom. Sandra claims Miss Shelley is a bigamist.
Now, I understand you were hurt. You'll find somebody else, uncomplicated, and do yourself a favor. How old are you?
25, ma'am.
25. Pick somebody without baggage.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now sit.
I am, ma'am.
What's next?
Your Honor, due to her committing bigamy.
It's over. She never promised to pay you for the wedding. Move on.
Well, she did.
No, she did not.
Okay.
No, that's a fib. I don't like fibbers. I have 5 children. I've made more than 5 weddings because we had a couple of doubles in there. I know what it's like. None of my children ever paid me back for weddings. Do you understand? Even when the marriage didn't work out. Get over it, Miss Harris. Now move on.
Okay. Well, just the bigamy charges. She marries another man while they're still married. That concerns me.
It may concern you, madam. I am not a criminal court judge. You want to notify the district attorney that she committed bigamy? Go with good luck and go with my blessing. Get on to what I'm here about. The last part of your lawsuit, which is items that you claim you gave her, family heirlooms that you want back.
Yes, my mother makes hand-sewn quilts for all the new granddaughters that are marrying her grandsons. My family is requesting that returned due to Shelley obviously not having any interest in them since she married a man a month after marrying my son.
Well, you're not entitled to that, Miss Harris, unless Miss Johnson wants to give it back to you. Do you have that quilt?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Would you like to give it back to Miss Harris? She would like it back.
I can send it back to her grandmother.
Fine. Perfect. What else?
The diamond necklace that I would like returned.
No, you don't get that back.
Okay. I bought that as a daughter-in-law, but...
Good. She was your daughter-in-law for about 15 days. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going.
The expenses for the wedding.
I already told you. She owes you absolutely nothing. She's being gracious in returning a quilt that you say was made by a family member that you want back in the family. And that's only her being gracious to return that to you. So you're not entitled to anything else, Miss Harris. I'll prepare an order with regard to the quilt. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This is the woman that I trusted and I loved with all my heart, and I can't believe she did this to me and my family.
I'd rather be alone and, be married to the right person than to be married to the wrong person.
It's a felony in the state of Colorado. We've already checked it out. So we will be pursuing that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jacobs versus Nelson Inkhorn. Step forward, please.
Gazina Jacobs is suing her former tenants, Benjamin Nelson and his girlfriend, Vanessa Inkhorn, for rent, utility bills, and for severely damaging her rental property.
Miss Jacobs, you rented a unit that you had, apartment.
Yes.
To the defendants. They were referred to you by a neighbor. Mm-hmm. According to your complaint, you had to evict them. They owed you rent. You want your rent. You want the damage that they did to your apartment, which you say was substantial. Mm-hmm. Mr. Nelson and Miss Inkhorn say you owe them money. You kept their security deposit. They did not cause any damage to the unit. They were current in their rent until you shut off their electricity and their power, and they have a counterclaim. What kind of work do you do, Mr. Nelson?
I'm a handyman, a mechanic, painter. I do a lot of things.
Do you work for anybody or you work for yourself?
I work for myself.
And what do you do?
I'm a hostess.
It's just the two of you in the unit? And how much was the rent?
$960 a month, plus electric and gas.
Which you were supposed to pay for yourself?
Yes.
When did you move in?
I believe it was September of 06.
When did they move in?
They moved in at the end of January of 07, and the lease agreement started 1st of February of 07.
I don't think that's right. We
Can I
lived there
see the
longer
lease,
than that.
please?
I have the lease agreement.
Are you on any prescribed medication, Mr. Nelson?
No.
You moved in February of 07, sir, not in September of 06. Okay. So, first let's start with the question of utilities. According to your answer, you say she agreed to rent us the unit and we signed the lease for $960 a month, including utilities. Now you say you were supposed to pay your own utilities.
Electric and gas, yes.
You were supposed to pay your own utilities. Did you put them in your name?
Right before we got evicted.
Eventually we had to.
What do you mean eventually you had to? You had to when you moved in February.
Well, they were in her name up until then because it was part of the agreement that our utilities would be included in the $960 rent.
Not according to him.
According to this evidence in these papers, that's what it was. It was in her name for a long time.
Well, it was, of course. It had to be in somebody's name.
Yes, and until she turned it off without notice.
Just a second. Were you supposed to pay the utilities?
Yes.
Why didn't you put the utilities in your name starting in February?
Because that wasn't part of the agreement that we had.
Of course it was.
We didn't have the money at the time.
That may be an answer.
So we agreed to do it when we had the money.
Yeah.
Just a second. When did you have the money?
I believe it was in April or May.
By April, she had already turned off the utilities.
That's when we got it in our name.
Because you didn't pay them. When did you move out?
We moved out around the beginning of June, around June 10th.
June 9th was our last day.
So you owe her rent for February, March, April, May, and June. 5 months.
No,
That is not true.
We've paid her up until like the last 2 months before we moved out.
I'm telling you that that's what you owe her.
Okay.
Show me that you paid 5 months' rent. If you didn't give her rent for 5 months, tell me when you stopped paying her rent.
I always brought her cash. I stopped paying her rent on about end of April. I stopped paying rent because I didn't have the money because I lost my job.
All right, fine. So far, you owe her $1,150 in rent, and you didn't pay the utilities for February, March, and April. I assume that they paid them in May because then they had to put them in their own name. At least you were off the hook. So how much do they owe you for utilities?
Utilities is, I got the receipts right here, $767.69.
Now, you have pictures of the damage to the apartment?
I sure do.
I'd like to take a look at it.
There's several sets of pictures. I also have a list from the repair person and the checks that I did pay a person to repair the $4,000 worth of damages.
How did these holes get in the wall?
That was a prior roommate.
Whose roommate?
Ours. A bad selection of a roommate.
Well, you owe her for this damage.
Yes, I believe we do. We're responsible because...
You are. It's your roommate. Go find your roommate.
I'm putting in a small claim right now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That master bedroom, I know it was their bedroom, and right below those holes was their mattress. So, yeah, you can see her head there,
Your
right
Honor,
where he...
That is untrue. She's made a lot of allegations about us, about him doing bad things to hurt me, a lot of reason why those holes are in our walls.
When was the last time the police were called to any residence where you have ever lived for domestic violence?
Never. Just this once. If she'd called.
Just a second. When in any of your residences were the police called on a complaint of domestic violence?
None that we know of.
She just said once.
Well, we believe that's what she called about.
Yeah,
because they showed up, but nothing was ever done about it because nothing was wrong.
They showed up at the residence because they were looking for him.
This apartment is a pigsty. Don't you clean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we had a roommate that came in while we were at work and damaged a lot of stuff.
Filthy. That doesn't happen from a messy roommate. That happens from people who live like pigs.
I don't live like a pig, Your Honor.
Well, you did. I never saw a place so filthy.
I had to go through my house in 2 days' time, and I had to pretty much tear everything apart that I had and find what was sentimental to me, pack it up, and then start throwing a lot of my things away.
Should have paid your rent.
Your Honor.
You should have paid your rent. That's what happens when you don't pay rent or utilities.
We'd agreed to start paying it off. We'd actually started paying it off. And
Listen, she's not your mother.
I know.
She's your landlord. The first thing that you did was you moved into the apartment. You were supposed to put the utilities in your name. You didn't. Then you have a counterclaim that she had no right to turn off the utilities because she got tired of paying $767 for your utilities. Well, then you had no choice, but you put them in your name. At least she's off the hook. I don't know whether you stiffed the utility company or not. I assume you did. Now, then you leave an apartment like a pigsty and you blame it on a roommate. Well, so far it's everybody's fault but yours. Everybody else is wrong. She's wrong.
I'm taking responsibility since it was my roommate. I have to.
I don't necessarily think it was your roommate, sir. I don't necessarily think it was your roommate. I don't believe necessarily it was your roommate just because you say it. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand.
Good. I'm glad you do. Okay, so far you owe her $19.17 just for your rent and the utilities.
And that's the detailed list of what was repaired?
Nothing was repaired, Your Honor, except for the holes in the walls, because I live right next to that place, and so does my neighbor, and she happens to walk by and she sees our things are still being used. A refrigerator that she said was damaged that we need to pay for to replace, still being used. It was like that before we moved in.
That's a lie.
Show them these pictures, please.
The refrigerator was not repaired, and the refrigerator I'm not suing for. I'm just suing for the repairs Mr. Bean did on my rental unit.
Your Honor, I was going through all these items. That's why it looks like a pigsty like this.
Hey, just take a look at the toilet. The toilet isn't going through the items. That toilet hasn't been cleaned, it looks like, in 6 months. You owe $5,000 for your cleanup, for your rent, and for your utilities. Now, give me 30 seconds or less on your counterclaim. Let's go!
We don't believe we owe her because nothing was fixed before we even moved in.
Forget it. Next.
All of our stuff that was in the house, she gave us. She told us we would have 2 days, and we had
Why
nowhere to
didn't
go.
you get your stuff out?
We stayed up all night trying to get our stuff out.
We had
but
2
we had a
days
house
time
full of
to do
stuff,
it.
so we got
Did you
what
pay
we
rent
could.
in June?
I was giving her a couple hundred every
Did you
week.
pay rent in June?
Not in full, no.
Counterclaims dismissed. You owe $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Ramirez versus Flynn. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Ramirez, you and the defendant dated and, I gather, lived together for a brief period of time. You had one child with you at the time?
Yes.
And it is your claim that she, after an argument, threw you out with your child and kept your property. The defendant says that when you left, you owed her some money, and instead of the money, you said to her, just keep my stuff. I don't want it. You know, sell it. She's also counterclaiming because she says you assaulted her. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. When did you move in with Miss Flynn, Mr. Ramirez?
She moved in with me about 4 months after we met to my home that I was renting.
In what year was that you moved in together?
This year.
2007.
2005.
When was it?
2005.
And when did you move into the apartment that you left?
We moved in at the end of July of 2006.
And you have one child. How
Yes,
old is
ma'am.
that child?
She's 8.
And you have custody of her?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened when you left, sir.
Well, when she kicked me out, me and my daughter, she just kicked me and my daughter out.
Well, tell me about that day.
While we were talking, and I have an invention.
You have an invention?
Yes, ma'am, that me and my brother came up with. And Miss Flynn stated that she wanted 10% of something that doesn't exist. And I said, no, how am I going to give you 10% of something I don't even have? So that's where it started, and that upset her, like, just totally upset her. And she said, what? And I said, how am I going to give you 10% of something I don't even have? I can't.
What do you mean you don't even have? You had an invention you just told
Well,
me.
yes, ma'am, but it's just in the process now. I haven't...
Well, I assume that what she was saying is that in exchange for whatever financial contribution she was making, were you working at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
You were both working?
Yes.
Well, I assume she was saying that because you lived together as a couple, she wanted 10% if anything happens with this invention. And you said, no, I don't think you're entitled to that. So you're entitled to say that to her, Mr. Ramirez. If she wants 10% or 50%, then you got to get married. Then that's what the state does. The state says, well, then property becomes community property or joint property. But you're not married, she's not entitled to anything. So you're absolutely within your rights to say, I don't want to give you 10%. Is that when she threw you out?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
Get out of my house. You and your daughter can get out of my house.
And is that what you did? You left?
Yes, ma'am.
And you left your things?
Yes, ma'am.
What things did you leave there?
I have a list of things, numerous things.
They better be big items, sir, because I don't get involved with saucepans and dishes.
That's just some of the things. That's not the personal belongings, like pictures and...
I'm going to cross certain things out here, Mr. Ramirez, that I think are ridiculous. Char-broiled barbecue with 2 propane tanks. Prairie dining. Did you purchase all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you purchase them while you and the defendant were living together?
No, ma'am. Prior.
You had these things?
Everything on that list is prior to our relationship.
Let us take a look at this. Are any of those things that you purchased while you were living together?
Probably some DVDs and CDs.
Other than that, those are all his things, correct?
Yeah.
You have to return them to him. All of them. Do you understand?
Oh, there's no neon picture.
Okay, cross it off.
There is a neon picture, Your Honor.
Cross it off. Okay, good. Inconsequential, all of those things within 5 days, sir. You arranged to have the movers there to pick them up. Isn't that nice?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. You say he owes you money.
Yes.
And he assaulted you. Go.
Actually, the alleged invention that he has is something that my doctor asked him to make, and I actually have a picture of it.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's why I had asked him for 10% of his
You're
alleged
entitled
invention.
to ask.
So
He's entitled to say no.
My counterclaim is what he owes me when he was not working for October, November, and December.
You were not working October, November, December?
October and November, Your Honor.
And December. Well,
just a second. Were you working in December, sir?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't contribute to the household for those 3 months?
No.
So how much money do you owe her?
I don't feel I owe her anything.
Why not?
That's the way relationships work, Your Honor.
Why, did she work all the time?
No, she doesn't work.
She doesn't work at all?
No.
How do you support yourself?
I receive disability and Social Security.
What's the nature of your disability?
I have a blood condition that affects my ankles to where I get a lot of blood clots, and I'm in the hospital a lot. I get a lot of infections.
So you were supporting the household and paying the mortgage on your Social Security disability?
And a child support.
You have children?
I have one child.
How old?
9. Also,
Just a second. Was your arrangement when you moved in that you would pay half the mortgage, sir?
No, ma'am.
What was your arrangement?
Just that we're going to move in together and help each other out as a relationship does.
No. How did you handle the finances, Mr. Ramirez?
Well, I was working prior, and then I just...
When you were working prior, how did you handle the finances?
We just share them.
How did it work? You came home and you all both deposited checks into a joint account?
No, ma'am.
Well, how did it work? I want to know.
I would handle cash and pay the bills.
How much?
It just depended on how much the bills were at the time.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
How much would you hand her each month?
Maybe $1,200.
Each month?
No, not each month.
Well, that's
When
what
I
I'm
could.
asking you, sir. You don't play with me. Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
You think you're smarter than I am?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez, you owe her $1,800. What else?
He also owes me for his vehicle insurance from May to January, which I do have invoices for.
Just a second. Why did you pay in May? He was working in May.
Because I had added him to my insurance because he couldn't get it on his own. And with the money that he was giving
No, my
me-
darling. Listen to me. In May, he was working, so he was giving you money. In May, June, July, August, he was working. He was giving you money.
Not
you
enough.
Pay the... Who cares? That's not something I'm getting involved with. So far, he owes you $1,800. Period.
Okay.
What's next?
So he owes me then $120 for vehicle insurance for October, November, and December, ma'am, when he was not working.
October, November, and December. You had a car?
Yes, ma'am.
She was paying the insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And you weren't paying
Helping.
anything?
And
But-
January.
Yeah.
Just, you weren't paying anything?
Not a penny.
Okay. How much a month?
$40 a month.
Okay. So it was 3 months or 4 months?
4.
160. What's next?
The satellite dish was a household bill.
Forget it. You still have the satellite dish, no?
I still have it.
Keep going.
I'm also countersuing for the assault.
Well, let me hear about the assault.
Okay. One night I was just in my house, in my room with my friend.
When?
Approximately the 14th of January.
After he had left?
After he had left. He came back into my house. He still had a key because his stuff was there, so I didn't change the locks. I changed my alarm code. I thought that was good enough. He came in anyhow. I had my room closed. When I opened my bedroom door to see who had come in, he was already right there. And he asked me,
What were you doing there?
I went to pack my daughter's things in her room so I can...
Did you call her first?
No.
Why not?
I have a key.
You have no right to do that. You're not a tenant there. You hadn't paid rent. You have no right to go in.
When I received my first check, after I got my job, I handed her my first check.
No.
What date?
You didn't.
What date?
Like January,
No.
first week of February.
You mean after you moved out, you handed her a
Oh,
check?
no, Your Honor.
Baloney, Mr. Ramirez. Baloney. You had no right being there. None. So what happened?
He said, who's in there? And I told him, none of your business. He pushed the door open like this, and the door hit me in my face because I was on the other side of the door. I proceeded to push the door and tell him that he wasn't going to come in, that it was none of his business. And with his strength, he pushed me into a dresser that I had by the door, which bruised my arm.
Why did you do that, sir?
I did
I
not, Your
have
Honor.
pictures of my lip where the door busted my
Can
lip.
I see it, please?
And my witness was in my room. When he saw that it was just my friend Diana, he left. I told him I was calling the police. I had the police on the phone, and
Temper,
I
Mr.
also
Ramirez.
have a statement from
Temper, Mr. Ramirez. Ever been arrested?
Yes,
Domestic violence?
yes.
What do you have to say for yourself, sir? There's no question in my mind that you entered the house, that was a trespass, and if you assaulted her, that rises to the level of burglary. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell me, did you lose your temper?
No, Your Honor.
Well, tell me what you did. There's no question that you hurt her.
I entered the house, and intend to gather my daughter's things from her room and some of my belongings. And then she came out. She said, "What are you doing here?" She said, "Get in my house." I handed her the key, and I left.
No.
Didn't push the door open?
No, Your Honor.
Didn't push the door?
No.
Didn't cut her lip?
No.
You have a police report?
No, ma'am, I didn't let the police come. So, but he was not there to get his daughter things. He called me later after he left and said, "Why did you do that? I just wanted to sit down and hang out with you and talk. I thought we could talk." And I said, "Why would you think that?"
He doesn't think that you're allowed to say no.
Well, I am saying no.
Yes.
And,
I think maybe
yeah.
he gets that now. Want to step up? Tell me your last name.
Kalish?
Ms. Kalish, you were there on the evening that Mr. Ramirez came into the house?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
We were in her room just watching TV, and we heard the front door open. She got up to see who entered the house, and before she got to the door, he was already standing there. She opened the door, and he pushed the door open and pushed her.
Did you say anything about calling the police?
She did call the police. I was there. She
And what
called
happened?
the police, telling them that he had came in the house without permission, but the police didn't show up.
They never showed up?
Well, she didn't want them to come over.
Why?
The calls can take an hour to 2 or 3 hours, and I didn't want to waste their time. He was already gone. I felt safe in the house, and I knew that I could just call back.
Why is this picture dated February 9th?
Because that's when I printed the picture, and my digital camera, once I changed the batteries, the date doesn't set. So I have a digital camera. I have the camera with me. I didn't print
Did you
the
seek
photos.
any medical treatment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You owe her $1,960. Do you understand? And you can go pick up your stuff within 5 days, the stuff that's on this list. Don't go back and bother her anymore. She doesn't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Do you understand?
It's mutual.
It's finished. Over. Got it?
Mutual.
Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He messed up. I mean, he had a good relationship. He had a really good thing. And he doesn't have it anymore.
She kicked us out into the snow, actually, where we didn't have no vehicle, no money, no cell phone.
It wasn't snowing.
Me and my daughter had to ride our bike over a mile to the gas station so I can call somebody to pick us up.
They didn't go out to the street. I mean, he went to his brother's house.
She's just a mean person.
He chose to make that of himself while his daughter was there.
I told her I didn't love her unconditionally, and she just went ballistic.
I don't feel bad about that at all.
She can move on, and I can move on, and go on with our lives.
I hope so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Maffett versus Simmons. Step forward.
Rachel Maffett is suing her ex-boyfriend, Brad Simmons, for unpaid rent and bills while they lived together. Brad claims he owes her nothing.
Ah, Bird, I really am so glad I don't use this internet thing. Miss Maffett, you met the defendant on something called MySpace.
Yes.
Which is on the internet where people go to meet each other rather than, meeting each other for a cup of coffee or whatever. You exchange information. And you knew him for a brief period of time, and he moved in.
Yes, he asked to move in.
And it is your claim that while he was there, he paid no rent and bills. He owes you $2,000 for the time that he lived with you. Mr. Simmons says that there was never a financial agreement when he moved in. It was only when he left, unceremoniously, according to Miss Maffett. You left her a note?
No, ma'am.
What did you do?
I packed up all my stuff while she was gone because of the fact that she was a little unstable. I didn't feel comfortable staying there. I packed all my stuff, so I had it out of there, and then I went back to the house and waited for her to come home. And then I told her face to face.
Oh, okay. Well, not as bad as I thought.
Your Honor, I do have a note.
You do have a note?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the note. When did you get the note?
When I came home and found all of his stuff gone from the house.
The note was only...
Okay, so you write this letter because you believed she was involved with a couple of other people at the same time she was involved with you. It's a very hurt letter, and you say, I can't talk to you right now. You want to communicate with me through MySpace because you're too hurt. You couldn't trust her. Okay, got it. When did you move in, Mr. Simmons?
It was sometime before Christmas. I don't know the exact date.
You remember the date?
I do not. It was probably after 3 or 4 dates, though.
Sometime in mid-December.
Yes, ma'am.
Of 06. And you moved in at her invitation.
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you move out?
I moved out, it was the first week of February.
So let's say
It was before Valentine's Day.
Remember when he moved out?
It was before Valentine's Day, but he was over at my house probably 5 days a week. After that, he promised that we would get back together, and
so he lived
still
with you
loved me.
maybe 6 weeks.
Right.
That is untrue. I did not go after.
Did anybody live with you before, Miss Maffett?
Not in that apartment, no.
Has anybody lived with you since?
No.
So you weren't looking for somebody to share the bills with?
No, I was not.
So what money do you think he owes you? For the 6 weeks that he was there?
He lived there for probably 8 weeks, and
6 weeks. Keep going.
And he did say that he would pay for half of the bills. He actually asked me if he could live with me. He says that he thinks it may be the L word, and so that he wanted to come live with me because his family was unstable, and he said that his father was beating him.
That is untrue, Your Honor.
Listen to me. He left. You have no downside.
Well, I paid for all of the food. He eats probably enough for 3 people a day.
Yeah?
And he did promise me to pay $2,000 from a bonus that he was going to be getting from his new job. And every time I would go to pay bills, he would say, oh, no, it's okay, you're going to get that other money, so we can do this instead and have fun and eat out and things like that. So I did spend money on things that I normally wouldn't have if I were living alone. I work 2 jobs and I am trying to finish school, so I'm just barely eking by.
Mr. Simmons says he gave you $500 while he was there.
He gave me $300 when he first moved in, which we promptly used on food and going out to eat.
Was it 3 or 5?
It was $500. I gave her $300 when I moved in, like she said, and then at another point, about 2 days before we broke up, we went out to eat with my uncle at Johnny's Pizza, and I gave her another $200. There was never agreement. I was just trying to
I believe you that you gave her $500. Do you feel, Mr. Simmons, as if you owe her any money?
No, ma'am.
Was there ever an agreement for you to pay rent there?
No, ma'am. When I moved out, I figured the $500 I gave her, plus I maintained the upkeep of the house, and I cooked. So I feel that's...
You don't get credit for that.
I feel that the money that I gave her at the time that I was there was
You gave her $500?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your rent, by the way?
My rent is $580 a month.
He's paid you enough, Miss Maffitt.
Judge Judy, I actually have an email here stating that he was going to give me the $2,000.
Oh, then I'll see it.
I never sent an email. She did have access to my email password.
No, I did not.
Because it was saved on her computer.
Just a second.
Judge, I also have emails saying that he would lie in court, that he admitted to lying in court. He admitted to cheating on me with men.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Oh, listen, I'm not interested
that he
in
wasn't working
I'm
when
not
he was
interested in
working.
that. It has nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. The only thing that has to do with me is whether or not you just refuse to put a period and say, made a mistake, shouldn't have invited this guy in to live with me after knowing him for just 4 dates. You have no downside. He gave you $500. He was there for 6 weeks, and I'm not sure that you wrote this thing yourself. Case is dismissed, Miss Maffitt. Put a period. It's over. Goodbye.
Matter of Kaiser versus Hunter.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Kaiser, according to your complaint, while you were in a relationship with the defendant, you made a loan to him, a couple of $100s.
Yes.
When did you make him this loan and what for?
On January 30th, I received my income tax return. And he was at my house. He had gotten kicked out of his residential drug facility. And after a week of being at my house, he had the option from his parole officer to either go back to the treatment facility or go into clean and sober living. And so he asked me to borrow the $200.
Well, what's the difference between a drug program and the clean and sober living?
He had more freedom in Pancho Villa than he would in the residential treatment facility.
What were you on parole for?
Residential burglary.
What was the condition of your parole?
That I'd have to say in either a residential treatment program or a sober living home.
So why didn't you stay in the residential drug program?
Because I got kicked out of the residential
Why?
program. For sneaking out to see her.
And for drinking. Don't let him tell you that. It's for drinking also.
No, Your Honor. That's a lie right there. You can call the program and ask. Says, no, I've never given a dirty test since I've been out of prison.
They don't give urine tests for alcohol.
Yes, they do, ma'am. You can call my parole officer and ask him. I cannot drink or be around alcohol, and they test me for alcohol at the parole office and at the program.
Mike, that's why you're drunk at my house moving me.
Okay, did she give you $200?
Yes, Your Honor. She offered me $200.
Okay, tell me about the $200. You
She
wanted to go
offered-
into this.
Offered? I have 2 kids.
Listen to me. When I look in your direction, that's when you talk.
All right.
And I'm looking in his direction. Now tell me under what circumstances you say she gave you the $200.
She gave me the $200 knowing that I just got out of prison.
Don't tell me what knowing. I don't want to hear knowing.
Okay,
What did you say to her? What did she say to you? You said to her, I need $200 in order to go into this other program, and I don't have it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. And she said to you?
She said to me that you can borrow the $200, but I would have to help her pay it back. She knew that I did not have a job.
She just don't tell me what she knew.
Okay.
She said you would help her pay it back. Pay it back to whom?
Pay it back to her.
Now, all right, let's make this simple, Mr. Hunter. She said that you could borrow the money, but that you would have to pay it back.
Most definitely.
Am I looking in your direction?
If you
Am I
would
looking in your direction?
No.
Don't speak unless I look in your direction. She said you could borrow the money.
Correct.
And you would have to pay it back.
Not correct.
That's what you just told me.
I have to pay it back, but not in cash. I was to help her move, watch her kids, pick her kids up at school several times, which I did, take her friend, which is over there to Fairfield, to see a friend of hers that's in the county jail, fix her car, and that pretty much cleared up all the money issue.
When did you help her move?
I forget the exact date that she moved. You remember the exact date?
No, don't ask her any questions.
Okay.
If I want to know from her, I'd ask her.
I forget the exact date.
Before or
that she
after
moved.
she gave you the $200?
This was before. She moved.
Just a second. Listen to me very carefully, because I know that you have a little trouble understanding, sir. Did you help her move before or after she gave you the $200?
I just answered your question the same
that
way.
That she
yes.
moved before?
She gave me the money before I helped her move. That's exactly what I said. She gave me the money, and then I helped her move.
When did you go into this new program?
After she moved. I don't have the exact date, Your Honor.
I know the exact date.
Give me the date.
Here, I cashed my check on my income tax check on 1/30/01. That is the day that he moved into Pancho Villa. I moved on February 2nd. That was not the agreement.
Just a second. What date did he move into the facility?
January 30th.
The same day that you gave him the money?
I took him there.
So you were living in the program on the day she moved?
No, at the program that I was at, I didn't have to stay there every day. I can go out, come and go pretty much as I want.
Did he help you move?
Yes, he did help me move.
Okay, tell me what he did.
He helped take 2 loads of stuff to my house.
Okay, what else did you do for her?
I put all of her kids' beds together, picked her kids up from school. She actually had put my name down at her kids' school as a person to be able to pick up her kids in emergency.
Okay.
Yeah.
And picked up her kids several times. And also took her friend down to Fairfield. The lady sitting over there took her friend down to Fairfield to the county jail to see her friend.
Okay, what did I tell you?
Okay.
There was a period of time when you lived with the plaintiff, is that right?
Correct.
When was that?
That was in the month of January.
The entire month of January?
No.
I'm going to throw you out. Do you understand?
All right.
Next time, we're not talking about a lot of money. It would be very easy for me to just to say goodbye to you. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
During the entire month of January?
No, only about a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Let's say 2 weeks. And you slept there?
Correct.
You ate there?
Actually, I had some money of my own. I still had my gate money from when I left parole. I went and bought my own food.
How much money?
They gave me $200 gate money.
You mean when they threw you out of the program, they gave you
No,
$200?
when they kicked me out of prison.
They didn't kick you out of prison?
Yeah, I mean, when I got
wanted
released
to stay?
from prison, I'm sorry.
You wanted to stay in prison? Huh?
No.
You wanted to stay in prison?
No.
How much money did you give her towards rent in those 2 weeks?
During those 2 weeks, I helped her clean up around the house because I was buying my own food and buying food for them.
Answer my question, sir. I want the question answered. How much money did you give her towards rent when you were living there?
Nothing.
When you went to pick up her children on those couple of occasions, did you use her car?
Correct.
Did you ever use her car for your own personal business?
No, I did not.
Did he ever use your car for his own personal
Yes,
business?
he did.
Of course he did.
Yes, he did.
Where did he go?
He went to the parole officer.
Of course he did. He had to go in and check in periodically with the parole officer. And how did you get there, sir?
I would take the bus.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
I would hop on BART and take BART and catch the 80
of
bus
course you did.
to Vallejo.
Are you telling me, sir, that you never took her car to go and visit your parole officer?
No, I did not. I got bus vouchers for my parole officer to use.
Really?
Yes.
Very interesting.
She wouldn't allow me to use her car for personal purposes.
Really? That doesn't sound like it was very generous of her.
Well, there's a lot of things that don't sound very generous.
So why didn't
can
you,
call
what'd you
my
stay
parole
there for 2 weeks for?
Well, as she says, the sex was good, pretty much, is why she let me stay there. And it
Really?
was. I was down 22 months, and I stayed there for the same reason.
Really? So you had it all stored up? Right, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Trinity Kiger says ex-boyfriend Michael Hunter owes her for an unpaid loan and the return of 2 CDs.
Not.
And also, can I be allowed to say something about her character?
No,
you can call
I
my
don't want to
parole
hear
officer.
anything about her character. I
Well,
hear
I
enough
believe,
about your
I believe
character.
it's very important to deal with this case. Something that you can verify by calling my parole officer and find out.
I'll hear you.
Okay. The night that we broke up, she came down and had my old roommate let both of these 2 in. She came in and punched my new girlfriend in the nose, smacked me around 10 times. The only reason I didn't call the police and press charges is because she had threatened to say that I had beat her up, put bruises on her, and file a domestic violence case against me.
Now, this is very interesting. You're supposed to be in a
sober
clean and
living
sober program, and you're living with a new girlfriend.
No.
How did that come about?
My new girlfriend was over visiting.
Visiting where?
At the sober living home.
Okay. When? Give me the date.
My parole officer would have the date because I went
I'm
there the very
asking
next
you
day.
the date.
I told her I don't have
How
the
much
exact date.
How much after she gave you the $200?
This was probably about a month and a half, 2 months.
Well, if she gave you the money, sir, sometime in, let's say, the end of January.
I believe
It had-
sometime in March.
Well, that's just a few weeks afterwards.
No,
that you had a new
it's about,
girlfriend.
like I said,
4
about a month,
weeks,
a month and a
5
half.
weeks?
About,
Yeah.
I'd say about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks.
And when did you get the new girlfriend?
I started a job working at Walmart, and I found a woman there that was actually
Nicer to
treated me a lot better.
When did you start the job at Walmart?
I started it when I first got there to that program, so it was in February. I started that there.
And so you found somebody else right away?
No, like I said, it was about 5 to 6 weeks that I
You're
actually
a
started
sleazy
talking.
character. Pay it back at $200. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When she came down and smacked me around in the face 10 times and hit my girlfriend in the nose, everything right then and there, any chances of me ever paying her back would have been out.
Then he thought because he was, you know, having sex with me that was gonna cure the problem, and it didn't.
And now the next case.
All parties on Mills versus Trelfa. Step forward, please.
23-year-old customer service rep Jason Mills is suing 38-year-old business owner Karen Trelfa for damage to his snowmobile resulting from a collision. Karen is countersuing for damage to her snowmobile, claiming the accident was Jason's fault.
Mr. Mills, you were on an outing and you were what is it called?
Snowmobiling.
Snowmobiling. And it is your claim that the defendant, who was also snowmobiling, had an accident and plowed into your snowmobile, which was in a stationary position.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant says that you and your party created a dangerous situation. She's an experienced snowmobiler, and she wants you to pay for the damage to her snowmobile. Right?
Correct.
Okay. So tell me when this happened.
Well, on February 11th, 2001, we had rented a snowmobile. We were sledding with four total sleds, 6 individuals on the sleds. We had stopped on the far right of the trail, off of the groomed path, under the powder. I saw the defendant and her husband, whose sled was in front of hers, coming at us at a high rate of speed. Within a milliseconds of his passing through his powder, I saw the defendant's sled sliding toward us. She made impact with us. I was thrown from the sled, landed on my neck.
You were sitting on the sled?
I was standing directly next to my sled. I was the only person standing at the time. Everyone else was still sitting on their sleds facing forward. I was thrown up, landed on my neck. Anita was thrown from the sled and landed in a snowbank. The impact was severe enough to throw her boot from her body. If you look where the other sleds were parked, Mrs. Trelfa ended up toward the first and second sled. She made impact at the rear of our sled, slid down the trail. Now, immediately after, Mrs. Trelfa did come and immediately check to see if we were okay. Mr. Trelfa, of course, was worried about the condition of the sled.
What did he say?
Well, he acknowledged that her sled was pretty much trashed. Our sled, the damage was pretty severe. The frame itself was bent. I believe when you see the photographs, the frame on her sled is severely damaged. The top.
Do you have photographs?
Yes, I do. Would you like to see them?
Please.
That is her sled. This is my sled.
Is hers.
The red-colored portion of her sled was actually detached upon impact. It's just laying on.
Step up, sir. When did you realize that your wife had been in an accident?
After coming to a stop, after avoiding these people, there was people in snowmobiles parked in the trail, and I had to actually go around them on the left, up on the berm off the groomed section to go around them, and that is where I came to a stop.
What was the reason, sir, that you stopped your snowmobile?
Because I realized that there was an accident waiting to happen, an accident in progress, and my wife was probably getting hurt.
Well, how could you tell there was an accident in progress?
I turned around.
Sit down, sir. Okay, let me hear your version of this accident.
We were traveling from this direction down the trail. When I came over the hill, I noticed 4 snowmobiles parked along the right-hand side. There were people on this side and people on this side of the trail. My husband went to the left, which is off the trail. This line.
You see stupid written here?
No, I don't, ma'am.
Then you explain to me what possible rationale there would be to park the snowmobiles on one side and then for the people to be standing on the other side, not near their snowmobiles. You explain that to me.
Well, it does not practice safe snowmobiling procedure.
No. Of course it wouldn't. It would practice somebody
Your
being on
Honor,
drugs.
Your
Leave
Honor,
their
I can help with
snowmobiles on one side. Now I could see if you put them near where their snowmobiles were, and you say that they were on the trail. But why would somebody get off their snowmobile, leave it on one side of the road, and walk over to the other side of the road? Why would somebody do that?
I don't know why they chose to. I would assume that they were taking photographs.
But your husband made it.
Which,
your husband made it.
Yes, he did. And when he went to this side, this person here ran across the front of the trail, which is where I was headed.
Go ahead.
I couldn't go right behind him. I would have be going too fast, and I would have ended up possibly hitting him because he was in some very deep snow and had stopped very quickly. So I had tried to get between this person and this snowmobile. He must have startled this person, and they ran across the trail. So I grabbed my handlebars and turned them sideways in order to turn my snowmobile so that I either flipped it before I got to this person, or at least did not hit this person nose first and really throw them.
Your Honor, I don't know how she could claim that she saw people on the far left side of the trail, especially since I am the only person who was standing next to a sled at the time of impact.
Where were the other people?
They were still on their sleds.
According to your answer, you've been snowmobiling for 30 years, is that right?
12 years.
12 years.
We do almost 3,000 miles a winter, so almost 30,000 miles.
And is this area that you were snowmobiling in well-traveled?
Yes.
A lot of people there?
Yes.
Sometimes experienced?
Yes.
Sometimes not?
Yes.
Their bikes were stationary when you hit them?
Yes.
You're responsible?
No, ma'am.
Period. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, even if I believe you, and I don't believe a lot of what you told me, nobody would leave their snowmobile in the middle of the road and go and take pictures.
They were not in the middle.
In the middle of the road and go take pictures.
They were not in the middle.
Right. So if they were not in the middle and you are a 12-year experienced veteran, you're supposed to be cautious.
And I was.
You are supposed to be cautious. No, if you were cautious, you wouldn't hit them.
I was 100 feet from the line of sight. They were in a very limited visibility area.
Then you're supposed to be more careful.
I was traveling at a very safe rate of speed.
Well, how could you be traveling at a safe rate of speed causing this damage?
They trapped the area and enclosed it.
I don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that they created the kind of hazardous situation that you attribute to them. Maybe some of these sleds weren't totally off the road. Maybe some of them were hanging over a little bit. But you've got a counterclaim. You want them to pay for your sled. You hit them. And you don't know who it was who ran across the road. If you claim somebody ran across the road creating a hazardous situation, it certainly wasn't him. He got thrown from his bike.
It was her.
You mean you remember that?
Yes. And if he was the only one that was standing next to the trail, how did she get between me and their snowmobile that was to the right of me?
I don't know. What?
Now, is she claiming that I was on the other side of this trail and running across?
Yes.
Well, if that is the case, how was I thrown from my snowmobile and into the snowbank?
Were you on the snowmobile with him?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and he was standing?
Yes.
And you were sitting on
I
the
was
side?
sitting on the back of the sled.
I don't know how she can claim that. Where were the rest of the people?
They were all on their sleds, sitting on their sleds.
Sounds more right to me. You hit his snowmobile while his snowmobile was in a stationary position, period. His snowmobile, according to you, was well on the side of this road, and there was plenty of room for you to pass. Your husband had passed. There was plenty of room
Except
for you
for
to
the
pass.
people stepped out into the trail.
Listen, that happens. I don't believe it was her. She says she was sitting on the snowmobile. It's possible that somebody else ran out. You have to anticipate that. That's not his job to anticipate it. That's your job to anticipate it because you're moving.
I agree.
Good. Then you have to pay for his damage. Judgment for the plaintiff for $1,245, which is what it's going to take to fix the snowmobile. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Eckert, the defendant used to be your boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he owes you for a variety of things. In 2001, you co-signed for a car for him. According to you, he stopped making payments on the car at some point. You took over those payments. You also took back the car in February of this year. You want him to make the payments to you that you made on the car when the car was in his possession. Then you claim that he damaged 2 cars during an alleged assault on you. One was a car that you were in, and one was the car that you had co-signed for. And you also claim that he assaulted you. The defendant says that he made the car payments, so he doesn't owe you anything for the car, that he returned the car to you, in February of this year, and that with regard to the assault, he was merely defending himself. Correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's get to the car. We agree that she co-signed for a car for you in 2001. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
On what date did you return the car to her, sir? I'm taking your answer. You say you returned the car to her.
Yes, February 8th.
Tell me the circumstances, Mr. Hammers, of your returning the car to her.
I returned the car as I came back from a trip to Arizona because I didn't want to be a part of her life anymore. I'd had enough of everything that went on.
That's a lie. Just wait. Shh, don't speak. When did the two of you part company?
About November 24th.
You took the car with you?
Correct.
Well, then I want you to explain to me in November, December, January, what prompted you in February to return the car to her?
The altercation that took place on January 11th.
Okay, so this assault altercation preceded you giving the car back to her.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. By the way, Miss Eckert, what did you do with the car when he gave it back to you?
I had to get it fixed, or the bank was going to sue me, and so I had to get the car fixed, and I have estimates showing that I got it fixed. And then...
Can't you just answer my question?
Yes. And then I returned it to the bank after I fixed it.
What did you have to pay them? Anything?
To return it? No.
So there was no money owed?
No.
How much did you spend to have it fixed?
$474 and some change.
So the car was practically paid off?
No, it was.
No.
We just gotten it. We're making payments on it, and we bought it September 29th.
Did you both put down a down payment?
No.
I put down my old car as a down payment.
Just you?
Just myself.
She didn't put down any money? And no money was owed on the car because you both co-signed it, so that nobody's credit is going to be at risk or anything else?
My credit it shows repossession.
It does?
Yes.
But the finance company didn't tell you that there was any deficiency?
I had to owe the rest of the money.
Well, they had to sell the car at some point. Did they do that yet?
I have no idea.
Let me see what you have there.
This is showing that I paid to have the Eclipse fixed, and these are estimates showing that I tried to find the cheapest place.
How much did you pay to have the car fixed?
$474.60.
Well, is that this bill?
Yes.
Did you make all the payments on the car, sir?
I did, Your Honor.
Show me proof that you made the payments.
May I interject? The way I made the payments was, it was in her name, and I handed her the cash. I have Corey Sykes with me today to prove that. A couple of payments that were made, he took me to give her the cash.
I have never seen this guy.
Let me tell you something, Miss Eckert. I think that you're a little premature in your lawsuit with regard to this car. Ultimately, the bank is going to come after you.
I returned the car February 18th of 2004 and haven't heard nothing from the bank.
Well, then you better call them, madam, because if you have on your credit report a repossession, the bank is going to tell you how much the deficiency is. They gave you $14,000. They're not going to be able to sell it for $14,000. Do you understand? They're going to sell it for substantially less. And you are going to be primarily responsible for that. So don't look to him for $400 to fix it. You have to look to him for thousands.
Well, that's not all that I'm suing him for.
I understand, but that's primarily what you're suing him for.
Yes. I also have a note saying that he's responsible for all damages that he signed.
That's fine. Listen to me. Don't do anything with regard to the car until you have indication from the bank as to what he owes you. Do you understand? What do you want?
I was with him when he went to go drop off the payments. Since that section's done, I just want to let you know you are very beautiful. I've always admired you. Cute. Thank you. Since I'm done, I'll sit down.
I have never seen that guy.
You got it? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? All right. Now, the only part of your lawsuit left is the assault. So when did this alleged assault take place?
January 11th, 2004.
Tell me about it.
I went over to his house because he wanted me to go up to the bar with him, and I didn't want to go to the bar because the girl that I wasn't getting along with, Alicia, was going to be up there. And so I told him, when you get home, call me or text message.
What's a text message for those of us who are electronically challenged?
On a cell phone, you can text message somebody without having to call them. It's just like an email.
Go ahead.
And I said, okay, do you want me to meet you at your house?
Meet him for what?
To get his phone, because his public defender was going to call about...
To get his phone?
To take a message.
Why couldn't he speak to his public defender?
Because he was going out of town.
Where was he going?
To Arizona, as far as I knew.
And his phone doesn't work in Arizona?
No.
You can't get incoming calls in Arizona?
I didn't have the service at that time, though.
Well, if you didn't have the service, what were you giving her your phone for?
I wasn't.
You were?
Yes, you were.
Okay. So, according to you, you were going to his house to get his telephone so that you could take the call from a public defender because he was going to Arizona.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We were walking back to the Grand Dam.
What were you walking back to the Grand Dam where she was sitting?
Because I wanted to tell her I wanted no part of her anymore.
I think she knew that.
True.
And later today,
I told her no, that I was going to take her home. She got very upset, and I was going about 35 miles an hour, and she put my car, and it hit reverse, almost went into park, but not quite.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Crystal Eckert says ex-boyfriend Matthew Hammers owes for unpaid car payments, damages to the vehicle, and an assault. Matthew says it was Crystal who assaulted him.
All right. Who did you go to his house with?
Carl Bonnie.
With Carl?
Yes.
Okay. What happened when you got to his house?
Carl stayed in the car. I parked my car down the street, and I walked up. He came downstairs. I got a text message saying, "That's up what you did to Matt." He said, "I don't know what you're talking about."
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, I got a text message from the girl that I don't like, Alicia, saying, "That's up what you did to Matt." I asked Matt, I said, "What did I do to you?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And so I was like, "Fine, whatever, I'm done. This is stupid." And I turned around and I walked off. Matt comes around, I start running, and I hear him, and then he puts his arms around me, and I go sliding on the ground. I have scars from when he did it on my arm and on my knee, and I also have pictures when I fell.
And then what happened?
And then I yell for Carl. Carl comes running out, and Carl, Bonnie, and Matt got into a fist fight, and I went back to my car. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to have no part of anything.
So?
And then after that, I was yelling for Carl, "Come on, let's go, let's go." Carl and Matthew are walking down the street talking.
So they stopped fighting and now they're buddies?
As far as I knew.
Okay, keep
That's
going.
what it looks like to me in my car.
Keep going.
And so Carl gets in my car, Matthew comes on the driver's side and says, "I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you." I said, "No, I don't want to talk." And he gets all mad and runs up to the Eclipse and punches the Eclipse in the left quarter panel. And then I'm driving off, he comes, he punches my driver's side window of the Grand Am and pulls on it, does not break the window. After he punched the window, he was pulling me out of the vehicle. I was clawing his face as in self-defense because I was halfway out of my window. And one arm was behind me, pulling me out. Carl was trying to get his arm off me. That was the end of the story.
Okay, Carl.
He also called my mom.
Now, Carl, Miss Eckert says that at some point after you got it on with Mr. Hammers, you were walking back to the car together. Is that true?
Yes.
And when you were walking back to the car together, what were you discussing?
He said he wanted to talk to her.
Now, you had just been fighting with him, is that right?
Yes.
But yet you were walking back to the car and you weren't fighting?
No.
How did that come about?
He said he wanted to stop, so I stopped.
Well, tell me exactly what he said. He said, "Let's stop this."
And then we...
Is that what he said? "Let's stop
Yes.
this"? And then he said to you what, Carl?
He said he wanted to talk to Crystal, and I said she's not going to talk to you. And I said you
Did
need
he
to
say
leave.
what he wanted to talk to her about?
He said he loved her and he was sorry for hitting her.
And then what happened?
And then once we started driving off, he ran up to her car and yelled at her, and then ran back to his car and punched the Eclipse.
What did he yell at her?
He was just calling her names and all that stuff. And
Okay. And he came back to the car?
he ran up to the car and punched the window and grabbed it and started yanking on it, and then started pulling her out of the car. Her head hit the mirror, and I was trying to get his hand off of her. And then all these other people from the same complex there came out and yelled at him to get away, and it stopped from there.
Okay. Now I'll hear you, Mr. Hammers. Let's go back to the 11th of January. Let's hear what you have to say for yourself, sir.
I was at the bar doing karaoke, and I got back home, and Crystal had called my home phone and said that she was downstairs. And I'd gone downstairs to see what she wanted, and she said, "I got this text message from Alicia, who is a girl that was at the bar as well." And at this time, Carl and her had dated, and I didn't know, they could have been dating at that time too. I didn't know.
That's
and
what part of "don't speak" don't you understand?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I said, "I had no clue about this text message. I don't know what's going on." We exchanged words, and at that point, she had reached out and hit me and scratched my neck. And I was like, I don't want any part of this. So I turned around to walk away, and she came after me. She has shoes that she does not tie, and tripped and fell, and she caught my foot when she went down, and I fell as well. From there, she yelled for Carl as I was up helping her up. Carl came out and said, "What are you doing to my girl?" And ran at me and he had contacted me, which my backhand had hit the eclipse. From there, Carl and I began to wrestle around, and his earring got caught on his sweater. And he said, dude, I don't want to fight you anymore. I underestimated you can fight. From there, I helped him get his sweater off of his earring. And from that time, we were walking back to the Grand Am, and I just...
What were you walking back to the Grand Am where she was sitting?
Because I wanted to tell her I wanted no part of her anymore in my life.
I think she knew that.
True.
Who's Alicia?
Alicia was one of her friends that was at the bar.
Do you know Alicia?
Just through her.
But you've never dated Alicia?
No.
Did you think he had dated Alicia?
No.
Do you think he had talked to Alicia about you?
No.
So what did you care about the text message from Alicia?
Because Alicia told me that she was going to bust my teeth in.
You didn't tell me that. When did she tell you that?
The night before.
Well, why would she say that to you?
Because Matthew told me that Alicia asked Matthew if she wanted to smoke some drugs with her.
And?
Well, then Alicia thought that I was saying a bunch of rumors about her, saying that she's a drug addict, she's no good mother. And so I was like, okay, Alicia wouldn't let me tell her. Alicia told me that she was going to bust my teeth in, so why would I go to the bar?
What'd that have to do with him?
He's the one who told me that Alicia asked him that. And
But she was not angry with you about that. She was angry with you because she said that you were going around telling people she was not a good mother and a drug addict.
Yes, and I don't know where she would get that because me and Alicia, we've been friends since 3rd grade.
Oh, so you went over to Matt's house because you were annoyed with him because you thought that he had told your friend Alicia.
That's not
that,
true.
No. I mean, it's coming clear. You know, I ask enough questions, it will become clear. You weren't going over there to say to him, what's this about? You knew what it was about. It was about you asking him, why did you say something to Alicia about that drug business that I spoke to you about? Because now she's sending me bad text messages and she says she's going to bust my teeth. Listen to me, you had no reason to go over to his house that night. The only reason you went over to his house that night had to do with the text message from Alicia, not with this baloney about getting a cell phone. Listen to me very carefully. I'm dismissing without prejudice that part of your claim which has to do with the car. Wait until your bank advises you how much the deficiency on the car is after they sell it, and then you sue him for that deficiency, because you are responsible for that, sir. As far as the assault is concerned, I find that you precipitated it by going over there that evening, and that you did, in fact, trip and fall, which is consistent with the injuries. Quiet. The injuries in your photograph to your knee. I'm dismissing that part of your claim with prejudice. Goodbye, and have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think she's just trying to get back at me for, leaving her and life in general.
No, I wasn't angry about that. I was angry that Matthew tackled me.
One time she had said if I messed up her credit, then she was going to mess up my life, so.
I'll be seeing him in court in Omaha.
If she's going to try, she's going to try.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Glenn versus Kelly. Step forward.
23-year-old hospital administrator Megan Glenn is suing her former friend, 25-year-old bartender Megan Kelly, for damaging the transmission on her car. Megan says her drunken friend put the car into reverse while it was in motion.
Miss Glenn, you and Miss Kelly used to be friends, and it is your complaint that you were giving her a ride home because she had too much to drink, and an incident happened in the car, and she took the shift on your car and threw it and damaged your transmission. You had to have the transmission fixed. You want her to pay for that. In her defense, she says that she did not damage your transmission. All she did was put it in neutral. So, when did this happen?
October 18th, 2003.
Where were you?
We had been at her parents' house.
Doing what?
Hanging out.
Had you had anything to drink when you were there?
I think I had 2 or 3 beers to drink that evening.
What about Miss Kelly?
Yes.
You'd been drinking too?
We both had been.
How did you get to her parents' house?
I drove my car to her parents' house.
And Miss Kelly, how did you get to your parents'
I drove my car as well.
Why didn't you drive home?
My parents didn't think that I should, so I rode home with Megan.
Your parents felt that you had had too much to drink?
Yes.
At that point, did you argue with your parents when you were ready to go home?
I did.
Okay. What happened?
We were on the way to her apartment, and she wanted to go to the bar that her boyfriend was working at so that she could get her keys to go. She was going to take a taxi back to her parents' home and get her car and drive it to her apartment.
And you said?
I told her no, that I was going to take her home. She got very upset, and I was going about 35 miles an hour, and she put my car, and it hit reverse, almost went into park, but not quite. The car came to an abrupt halt, and I pulled over to the side of the road. I yelled at her to get out of the car. She did, and then I went to put my car into reverse, and it was not functioning at all whatsoever, so I yelled at her to get back in the car, and she did, and we drove home from there.
You drove her to her house?
To her parents' house.
Can I see the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Kelly, your version.
She had said that she would drive me up to my boyfriend's work to get my spare set, and that we would actually go back to my parents' house, and I would just drive my car home. And then she changed her mind and decided that we were just going to go back to my apartment, and I said, well, if that's the case...
When did she change her mind?
We'd been in the car about 10 minutes.
You think she was concerned about you?
It's possible.
Go ahead.
I know I shouldn't mess with a vehicle in motion, but I put the car in neutral. You could even hear the engine rev like it was in neutral. It did not come to an abrupt halt. So then she went to put it back in gear, and that could have caused the damage, because I know, a car that's in drive can't go to park or reverse. There's safety features in the car. So from neutral, it could go into pretty much any gear, but from drive, I just bumped it back into neutral. And then she freaked out, jammed it back in gear, and then she stopped the car and told me to get out.
So whose fault do you think it is that her transmission was ruined that evening?
I don't think it was my fault. From drive to neutral...
I'm asking you. Whose fault do you think it was?
I guess it's Megan's fault.
Your fault. Let's say I believe you that what you did was you were drunk and you put your hands on her car and you put the car into neutral while she was driving. But for the fact that you did that, she wouldn't have tried to put a car into a different gear, right?
True.
So you have to pay for it. That's what happens when girls get drunk. They do stupid things. Boys do stupid things when they get drunk, too. But it always is absolutely amazing to me that girls who are supposed to know better will drink to a point where they lose control of their thinking process and they act like idiots.
Okay.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,774.22. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. The next one out. Your Honor, case number 343 on the calendar in the matter of Krill versus Krill. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Jennifer, this is your stepmom.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are no longer married to her father, is that right? You are
Yes,
now
ma'am.
divorced. How long were you married to Jennifer's father?
18 years.
Jennifer, you came back to live with your stepmom. You have a child?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your child?
She's 3.
So you came back to live with your mom when you were 16?
Yes.
With a baby?
Yes.
Where had you been living?
In El Paso, Texas with my real mom.
And that didn't work out, so you came back to
Live with
your
her, correct.
stepmom. Your complaint is that your stepmother has a car that belongs to you.
Correct.
And she says she does not. It is her car. I gather there was a time when you were 16 or 17 that your stepmother gave you her car to drive, and you totaled it.
Right.
And then what did you do?
What do you mean?
Well, you got some money, according to your complaint. You asked your biological mother for some money.
Oh, yes.
And she sent you some money, and you put it in the bank.
Right.
And you and your stepmother went out shopping for a
Right.
car, according to you, purchased this car, which your
Right.
stepmother put in her name.
Right.
That's the car we're looking to retrieve.
Right.
So, when you went to buy the car, you were 17?
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of discussion did you have with your stepmother about the car?
We really didn't have a discussion. I mean, she told me that we were going to buy me a car because she didn't have any money to afford to replace the other one. And then she did the transaction. I handed her the $800 in front of the man that we bought it from, and then I walked away. She never consulted me about putting her name on the title. She just, I guess, put her name on it. So, I mean, I have the bill of sales. I have a bank statement from that
Okay,
day.
no, there's no question. The money came from your stepdaughter.
Yeah, but she's not telling the story right.
Okay, so I'm listening to you.
She never gave me the $800. She went and took care of that. Jennifer also took care of all the title work and registration, and she's the one that put my name on that title.
No, I did not.
I never went to the licensed bureau to do that. She took care of all of that.
Why would she put your name on the title? Maybe because she was a minor?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think she totaled my car in early May. The Neon was bought probably 3 weeks after that.
Miss Krill, she has received a gift from her biological mother for the purpose of purchasing a car.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think this car belongs to you?
Because we discussed it. It was supposed to be, she's the one that took care of the paperwork. If she really believed that it was her car, why did she put my name on the title?
Just a second. That's not my question. Why do you believe it's your car? Don't tell me what's going through Jennifer's mind.
I never said it belonged to me. I said it belonged to us.
Well,
and
then
it was
how do you
discussed that
expect-
she was replacing the Cougar that she totaled.
Her mother didn't send her money to replace your car.
No, ma'am, she did not.
Right. Her mother sent her money to buy a car for herself so she would have a car. She's 17 years old. Sometimes teenagers have problems. You have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When your child is 15, 16, 17 years old and they have an accident with the car, it's just part of parenting. They don't replace it.
I didn't ask her to replace the car, though. The car was put in both of our names for it to be our car so we could share it.
You can't share an $800 car, and she's not living with you anymore. So what do you want to do?
We live a mile from each other.
You can't share the car. It's impossible. Who has the title?
I do.
Can I see it,
I have the
please?
receipt to the title.
You don't have the title. You have a receipt. I want to see the title.
Okay.
Okay. Have her sign. Okay. Right over there, Miss Krill. That's going to take care of the car. Sign it. Okay. Bird, would you give it over to the plaintiff, please? All right, that takes care of that. Now, I'm going to take care of all this property stuff. What kind of property do you claim that you have at your stepmother's house, and why did you leave it there?
Well, I have a couch that my aunt gave me. I have a bed that my grandmother gave me, a radio flyer, a radio tricycle. I have all my shoes.
That's for the baby?
Right. Those are her toys, and amongst several other toys that she has there. And
Well,
the reason why
why didn't you take those things when you left?
Because I was sent to Texas. I mean, I couldn't pack everything.
What do you mean
on
you
the
were
plane.
sent to Texas? When were you sent to Texas?
I was sent there July 11th because they said that I couldn't live in their house anymore. So.
You mean your stepmom said you couldn't live there anymore?
Right. Well,
Why? What were you doing?
She told me that I had to go to Texas. I had to face my past and stand up to my real mother. I mean, I didn't understand why she was sending me. I still don't understand why she sent me.
She's going to tell me why she sent you. There had to be something that you're not understanding, but that I have a feeling I'm going to understand. Go ahead.
She was sent back to Texas at that time because I was on medical leave and because she was getting into some trouble that I couldn't handle. I told her to go back to Texas to deal with things that were going on, to step up because she needs to be a mother.
To her child?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a mother to my child. I think I am a very good mother to my child. I've never hurt her. I mean, I don't understand why she's saying that.
Well, let me ask you this question. You've never hurt her?
No.
Do you think that you surround her with the appropriate people all the time?
Yes, I do.
Just think about my question very carefully. Where's her father?
He is in Texas. He's no longer in my child's life, nor has he never been.
Does he pay support for her?
No, he doesn't.
Why not?
He just doesn't. He's in prison.
Well, that's a reason. That's a reason for him not to pay support is because he's in jail. What is he in jail for?
Statutory rape.
Of?
Me.
Of you. Is that one of the reasons you didn't get along with your biological mother?
Yes, it was.
Did they pursue that against him?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
Okay. Your stepmother says that you were getting into some difficulty with your daughter, that she found her in a circumstance that she wasn't happy with. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any truth to that?
No, I don't understand. I don't know what circumstance you'll be talking about because...
Well, maybe she'll tell me. Go ahead.
She was dating boys that had no business being around the grandbaby. I actually had to extract her from the home of one twice within a month's period.
What was wrong with them?
He beat on the baby, for one.
How do you know that?
He left marks on her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Yes, he was one of my boyfriends.
She admitted that he hit her.
Because she had an accident in her pants. I didn't agree with it. I didn't say, oh, well, that's okay.
So when I asked you whether your daughter was around inappropriate people, the answer was yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Jennifer Krill says her stepmother, Kim Krill, won't return her vehicle. Kim says Jennifer should think of it as compensation for wrecking her car.
Did you ask Jennifer about the marks?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She admitted that he hit her.
Is that right?
What happened was, from another instance, that when I was in Texas, yes, he was one of my boyfriends. I came to live with him. I mean, he was nice until, he told me to get out of his house. And then the reason why he hit her was because she had an accident in her pants. I didn't agree with it. I didn't say, oh, well, that's okay. I got my stuff, I packed my bags, and then I called my real mother in Texas, and that's when she came and got me.
Jennifer, so when I asked you whether your daughter was around inappropriate people, the answer was yes.
Oh, I didn't think that she was stating that. I thought, excuse me, she was stating of my stay right now. And how
I'm talking
staying
about
right now.
that. I want to know why you were sent back to Texas.
That was
Your
on
stepmother is on...
In December?
No, in July.
She's been sent back twice.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, anyway, that's when you were sent back the last time. It was in July.
Right.
And you didn't take all of your stuff because you thought you were coming back.
Right.
Do you have her couch?
Yeah.
You have her bed?
Yeah. I would like to say, though, that when she arrived back in Hobart, she called and said she was coming to get her stuff, and she did come and get a lot of stuff. It was her choice that she did not come back and get it. I never denied her that stuff.
Okay.
She didn't.
Do you want... It's going to be easy.
Okay.
What stuff do you want now?
Mainly, I want my car. And I do want my couch and my bed, but I don't have...
Well, listen, Jennifer, you can't have it both ways. If you want your couch and your bed and the baby's toys, make arrangements to pick that up in 5 days, fine. It'll be put out, it'll be waiting for you, you'll get a storage space, fine. But she's not going to act as a storage facility for you until you decide what you want to do. The car you now have. Do you understand?
Okay.
The car is yours.
Okay.
You have it. You want to forget about the rest of the stuff?
No.
Well, do you want it?
Yes, I do.
She's asking to take stuff that was the grandbaby's that I actually bought her, and the grandbaby still comes to my house.
Does?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you talking about the tricycle?
That was bought for her birthday and for Christmas.
Okay. I'm glad that she still comes to the house.
I adore my grandbaby.
How often does she come to the house?
I haven't really got to see her a lot lately, maybe once a week.
Where are you living now?
I live with my friends in Hobart, Indiana.
What friends?
Eric, Willie, and Jay.
You live in a house with 3 men?
Yes, I do.
What do they do for a living?
They put up billboards.
What do you do?
I stay home. I don't work right now.
What are you going to do with the couch and the bed?
I'm going to get a storage room until I can rent my own apartment to put it in.
You still are getting along reasonably well with your stepmother?
I would say so.
I like that. That's very smart. Your daughter needs that.
I know that. That's
A
why I
lot.
allow her to see her.
A lot. So I have a sense, and I'm going to ask her, she's not quite ready for the couch and the bed right now. Any chance of you holding on to it?
I told her before that she was more than welcome to keep her stuff there until she could find a place, room.
Fine. Then we have no problem with that. And we've resolved the car. Continue to be smart, Jennifer. Continue to let her be a part of that baby's life, because I have a sense that that is going to be one of the stable things in your daughter's life, at least for a while.
I understand that.
Okay, very good. That's all. Thank you.
By his excuse, you may step out.
She's not stepping up to her responsibilities and doing what she's supposed to do.
I would like to make amends with her.
Just to be a good mom to her daughter, that's all I want her to do.
If she would like to see me in her life as well as my granddaughter, I mean, I'm more than willing to do so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Riley versus Lee. Step forward, please.
Retired bus driver Lynette Riley is suing her ex-daughter-in-law, medical language specialist Kelly Lee, for defaulting on a car loan. Kelly says she can't make payments because Lynette's son doesn't pay child support.
Mrs. Riley, the defendant is your former daughter-in-law.
Yes, she is.
And you have grandchildren?
Yes, I do.
How many of those grandchildren are the children of the defendant?
2.
Do you see them?
Yes, I see them about 3 times a year now.
According to what I read, in 2000, the year 2000, you co-signed a loan for a car at a time when your former daughter-in-law and your son were still living together. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And the car was used by your daughter-in-law. I assume it was in your name?
It was.
And I assume also that your husband used the car on occasion. Is
Yes,
that
he
right?
did.
But shortly after the car was purchased, they separated, and you took the car.
Yes.
Now, did your judgment of divorce provide that the car was your car and your responsibility?
It wasn't detailed in our divorce, but property in our names remained in our names.
Is that what the judgment of divorce said?
Yes.
Problem is that you stopped making the payments at some point. When did you
Yes, I did.
stop making the car payments?
The car payments began to be too much for me. I wasn't receiving child support.
That's your defense.
Consistently.
That's your defense. My question was, when did you stop making car payments?
Off and on over the last 6 months, I continually tried to catch up, and I couldn't.
Do you have the date when she stopped making the car payments?
Actually, I don't know because the bank never let me know when she actually makes stopping. They had notified me that they were going to repossess the car in January of this year. Well, then they gave her an extension, and I found out later in April that they had repossessed it in March, which I hadn't even been notified that it had been repossessed. And she didn't notify it.
Why didn't you notify your mother-in-law that the car had been repossessed?
I'm sorry, I did notify her. I told her that I would have to send the car back. I talked to my ex-husband. He told me to call my mother-in-law, which I did. She said I asked her if she wanted to take the car. I had no choice. I needed to provide a home for my children. The car was too much.
When did you call her?
I believe it was January. And then I called the finance company and asked them to come and get the car when she told me that she had no use for it.
Just a second. Miss Riley, I just want to know, did your daughter-in-law call you in January of this year and tell you that she was having difficulty? Did you want to take the car back?
She did not call me in January. When I was in
When did she call you?
When she didn't call me. When we were there in December to pick up the children for Christmas, I had talked to her. And she said at that time that she thinks she was going to have to let the car go back because she was not able to make the payments.
So it was in December that she spoke to you?
Yes.
That she couldn't make the payments, she was going to have to let the car go back.
She told me at that time, Judge, to do what I had to do. And I said, okay. Well, then I had called the bank, and they said, no, they hadn't repossessed it, that they had given her another extension. Well, then I had not talked to her since then. But I didn't even know when they picked the car up until it was like April or 1st of May when the bank come after me for the money.
So, how much did you pay the bank?
Okay, it was left with a loan of $9,200. And the bank came after me and told me they were going to sue me every 7 years until I paid for it. Well, they told me if I haven't paid in 48 hours, that they would knock 25% off on it. And so I didn't know what to do, but I went to my mother to ask her for a loan so I wouldn't have to pay back so much. So she gave me the loan for $7,300, which I sent them a check within 48 hours. And then they sent me...
You have a copy of that check?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
I also have a copy of the post office when I sent it.
I don't need that. I just need a copy of your check. Okay, finance company.
And then the bank sent me a statement after that advising me that the request has been sent to the appropriate credit bureaus and updating your file of reflection. Now,
okay. So why aren't you responsible? Why? Now, your defense.
I did not want Mrs. Riley to co-sign the car. That wasn't a choice for me. My ex-husband asked her to co-sign the car for us. And I just basically, when it came down to it, I asked her to take the car back. She told me that she had no use for the car. I did tell her
even
to do what she needed to do.
Listen to me, she took the car back, she still would have been out the money. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she didn't want to be out the money. Why isn't it you're trying to explain to me, Miss Lee, why it isn't your responsibility. You've had this car since the year 2000. You took it in the judgment of divorce. You accepted responsibility for it in the judgment of divorce. You drove it. You used it for 3 years. Explain to me why this loss should be hers instead of yours.
I tried to work it out with her. I told her that I was calling the finance company.
Yes.
To come and get the car. It wasn't yes. I returned the car.
Yes.
And she wanted nothing to do with me. And
yes.
She wanted nothing to do with it. I never heard another word from her after that.
That doesn't answer my question. Are you thick? I mean, are you thick?
No.
Then explain to me why it's not your responsibility. It's certainly not her responsibility. She says, you say to her, take the car back. I can't deal with it anymore. She says to you, I can't deal with it. I don't have the money to pay every month on this car. I have a car, or I don't need a car. This was your car. So I'm not dealing with the problem. This is your problem. This is your car. All I did was do a favor and co-sign so that you could get the car. But it's your car. You're saying to her, this is the problem, deal with it. But how old are you?
31.
You're not 12. So I'm waiting for you to explain to me why it's not your responsibility.
The car was shared by myself and my husband. I didn't want her name on the car.
Then you should have given your husband the car during the divorce proceedings.
I couldn't.
Listen to me very carefully. Then if you didn't want because I'm not going to get an answer from you. If you didn't want the responsibility of the car because you couldn't deal with it, then you give the car to your husband in the judgment of divorce, and then it becomes his responsibility. But you can't have two front ends of the dog. Do you understand? You can't have the car and no responsibility, which is what you seem to be suggesting to me. Put your hand down. Do you appear to be losing?
No. Sorry.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Anything else you want to say to me?
No, ma'am.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount only that I can award you here, which is $5,000.
Yeah, it's case number 193 on the calendar, the matter of Donis versus Below.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Donis, the defendant was a friend of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
And you lived together in a house with her.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that after you told her to leave, she came back sometime later and vandalized your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant says she didn't do anything to your property. She's got a counterclaim that I'll let her tell me about in short order. When did the defendant move into the house where you were living?
Oh, gosh, I'm going to say 2008.
And did you just have a friendly relationship with her? She seems to say it was more than that.
It was a friendly relationship, yes, it was.
Was there ever a period that it was a more intimate kind of relationship?
No, ma'am, never.
Never?
Never.
She had her own room?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else lived in the house?
A friend of mine. He owned the house.
Name?
Kenny.
How long have you lived there?
Oh, gosh, 4 years.
And Miss Belote, you paid rent there?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
No.
How come?
Because you never asked me to.
Who never asked you to?
Kenny. I did give him money sometimes, but I didn't do it on a daily time or a monthly time, but I gave him money every once in a while.
Were you working?
Yes, I was.
What were you doing with your money?
Giving it to Mr. Donis.
Well, that's something. How much rent were you paying?
$500 a month.
It's an odd sort of an arrangement. What kind of house is this and where?
It's in Riverside, California. It's a 2-story, very old house.
And you work?
Yes, ma'am.
And you work but didn't pay rent?
Yes, ma'am.
You had your own room?
No, I did not. I slept in the same room as Mr. Donis did. I never slept in any other room besides that room.
Is that right?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Where did she sleep?
Upstairs.
Never ever been upstairs. I would not go upstairs. It's a scary room up there.
Okay. Okay. You asked Miss Belote to leave in May?
Yes, ma'am.
May what?
The last 2 weeks of May, I'm not sure of the date.
Tell me why.
Because my lack of wanting a more intimate relationship with her, it begun to weigh heavy on her. She begun to constantly bring up my financial situations, my inability to pay certain bills when they're due.
What?
For example, I had a car that had to be smogged and the registration paid. She offered to pay it. And she would later on constantly bring that up and belittle me. So finally, Your Honor, I reached my point. And one evening I said, you know, in the next few days, in a week, take your time, find another place to live. She flew into a rage. She started dumping all the stuff in the house.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Donis, is that during the course of the couple of years that she lived there, she paid for certain things for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And can I say one thing? Oh, sorry about that.
Like what?
Well, for example, we would constantly dine out, dinner or lunch. I said, I can't afford that. I'll get it. We would go to concerts, the theater. She would pay for it.
Okay, well, she wasn't paying rent. She had money. When did this alleged burglary take place after she moved out? On June 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a police report?
I do.
I'd like to see it, please. You told the police that you dated Miss Belote for 3 years while you lived at the residence.
No, I did not. That's what the police wrote down. They wrote down a couple of things
Belote
erroneously.
stayed with Donis at the house during a portion of their relationship. Donis ended the relationship with Belote about 2 months ago. The police got that all wrong.
No, not all wrong, Your Honor. They just stated a few facts erroneously. We were
Riverside Police Department would not be happy to hear, sir, that you are ascribing to them inaccurate reporting.
Well, they were not happy when I brought that to their attention yesterday. The officers were not happy.
Okay. And of course, Miss Belote, you say that you had nothing to do with this.
No, I did not.
Fine. Now, Mr. Donis, you did not witness this event. You came home and found that the padlock on your door had been removed and your place trashed. You list items here that were trashed. The police did observe the place having been trashed. Now you have to prove to me who did it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do it.
Well, ma'am, the police took photographs, which I do have also.
Your place was trashed.
Okay.
And burglarized.
Okay. I came home, the locks...
I said that already. You're not paying attention to me.
Well, ma'am, I have a witness that saw her enter the house and saw her exit the house carrying a bedsheet full of things.
I want to see the witness. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
Can I say anything yet?
No. What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan what?
Years off.
Where do you live?
I live in Riverside, California.
In what proximity to the plaintiff?
About 7 miles away.
And what were you doing at his house, allegedly, on the 1st of June?
I was behind his house waiting for a friend.
Where behind his house?
In my friend's backyard.
What were you waiting for your friend for?
To go hang out.
And you were waiting in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing in the backyard?
Smoking.
Smoking what?
A cigarette.
Your Honor, if you just said...
And tell me what it is that you allegedly saw, sir.
I saw a tall, blonde, short-haired woman walking through the kitchen door. Then I became frustrated waiting for my friend, so I called my mom to have her come pick me up. I walked across Kenny's house. Then I saw this lady have a bedsheet full of various items, put them into her car, then walked back, grabbed 4 gallons of water, emptied them out on the porch, threw the jugs on the ground, and sped away in her car.
And who did you report this to?
2 days later, I went back and I reported it to James.
And so your mother came and picked you up, so I assume the first person that you told was your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
And so she can corroborate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the 3rd of June, when you told the plaintiff, did he ask you to go to the police with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you go to the police at any time to give them a statement?
No, ma'am.
When he went to Riverside Police yesterday to complain about what was written in the report, because it says here, unknown suspect, did he ask you to go with him?
No, ma'am.
Why is that, Mr. Donis?
Well, ma'am, because I neglected to inform the Riverside Police Department after he told me he witnessed her, because I did not want the police involved at her job. She has a very good job, and I didn't want her work disrupted at all.
Very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It doesn't make sense to me that you wouldn't go back to the police and say, now I have a witness who's prepared to swear under penalties of perjury, where he could go to jail for about 6 months.
And later today.
How old are you?
35.
What's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, there is something wrong with you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Donis says former roommate Deborah Belote burglarized his room and trashed his belongings. Deborah claims she and James were more than roommates.
Mr. Donis, when your witness goes and swears in a report that he witnessed the burglary and they make an arrest based upon his sworn statement to the police that she burglarized your property, I'll be more than happy to recall and hear your case. Do you understand that, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Donis?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
reasonable to you, sir?
Of course it is.
Because you called the police that night and you named the defendant as someone who might have been responsible for this burglary. So it doesn't make sense to me that once you have a witness who saw her there, 2 days later you wouldn't go back to the police and say, you know, I didn't see anybody, but now I have a witness who's prepared to swear under penalties of perjury, where he could go to jail for about 6 months, that he actually saw her at the property. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you going to do a hop, skip, and a jump down to Riverside today?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. As soon as you do that, I'll see you back here. Bye-bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a really good liar and an actor, and that's what he did today to the judge. And she saw it all.
She wasn't happy with our relationship.
He said he loved me and cared for me, and I was the only person in his life.
We were never friends to begin with. You wouldn't do this to a friend.
Oh, big time learning experience. You're only done one time in your life, and that was it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andreasen versus Behar, step forward, please.
Suzanne Andreasen is suing her former friend, Brian Behar, for rental car fees, parking tickets, and an unpaid iPhone account.
Ms. Andreasen, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for the bills for both a rental car and some sort of U-Haul that were put as a favor in your name, but he agreed to pay for. He kept them for longer than he at least told you he was going to keep them, and you want the money that you were forced to pay as a result of that. I don't know what you say.
I don't owe her anything, ma'am.
Well, that's what you say, but why?
I mean, our whole relationship, you know, I mean...
I don't care about your relationship. Did you use a rental car?
She did get a rental car that I used,
did
yes.
you follow my words? Did you use a rental car?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay for it?
No, I did not.
Did you use a U-Haul?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay for it?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because she said she would take care of it.
How old are you?
35.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, there is something wrong with you if you need a friend to pay for your rental car and your U-Haul. There's something wrong with you. What kind of work does Miss Andreasen do?
She's unemployed.
How does she support herself?
I'm not sure.
How do you think she supports herself? You say she was a friend of yours. How does she support herself?
I know that she is getting unemployment or whatever, but as far as I know, I mean...
And what do you do?
She has a business that is something to do with some jewelry or whatever.
So she has a business?
Right. I used to own a construction company, and...
I don't care what you used to. You ate yesterday. How do you support yourself?
Right now I'm unemployed, and I mean...
How do you feed yourself?
Best way I can.
What kind of an answer is that? What'd you need a U-Haul for?
Because I was moving, I had a child on the way, and I needed to leave out of the area that I was in because it wasn't a good area to, like, raise a child that, turns out the child isn't even mine, but the whole reason that she offered her help was because...
Was she working when she offered to help?
No, ma'am, she wasn't.
Why don't you just pay the bill so I can leave you alone?
I don't owe her the money. I mean,
Why don't you just pay the bill so you can leave her alone? You don't work?
I've given her enough money.
You don't? Well, tell me how much money...
I mean...
Just a second. Tell me how much money you gave her and when.
I don't know. I didn't realize the relationship was on that level. I mean, we were friends.
Give me an idea of how much money you gave her and when.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There's
Give me an example.
An example. She pushes a $600 vacuum when she wants to vacuum her house.
And is what you're telling me you purchased that vacuum?
Yes.
When?
I guess like it was around October of last year. I mean, that's just one thing. I took her shopping and was like, and I told her, you know, get whatever you want. And she helped me fill up a shopping cart full of stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't realize our relationship was on that level to where I needed to keep.
What kind of level
like,
did you think your relationship was on?
I mean, I thought that we were friends, and when we said we were doing something for each other, then that's what it was.
I have a lot of friends. I never bought them a vacuum cleaner. Now, let me see the bills from the rental car and from the U-Haul.
There's also a couple of parking tickets that he got on the vehicle when he had it that he didn't tell me about.
Did he tell you about any of the parking tickets he got?
No. And there's a $1,000 cell phone bill.
Just a second. You told her about the parking tickets?
Yes, I did. Whenever I first got one of the tickets, the other one I may not have told her about because...
Well, when you got the tickets, did you pay them?
I didn't have a chance.
I don't understand what you...
Sorry.
I don't understand what you mean you didn't get a chance.
Well, when I came out in the car had a ticket on it. I got the ticket, put it in the car, and I honestly lost track of the tickets. I don't know what happened to them or whatever, and that's why they didn't get paid. But I mean, like I said, she said she would take care of it. So she knew I was going through a hard time. She knew that I had the kid on the way. She knew that...
Listen to me. Nobody cares about your troubles, sir, especially me. I don't care about your troubles.
Well,
all I know...
she told me she did.
Don't speak when I'm speaking. I didn't take a breath yet. When your friend is unemployed, according to you, and collecting unemployment, that means that they don't have a whole bunch of money.
Or that they don't want to work.
So a friend doesn't take advantage of their situation and take a car that they were supposed to have for a couple of days and keep it for how long? How long did you keep the car?
I don't recall.
A month. Well, let's try a month. When you have no money, you don't rent a car for a month on a friend who has no job.
When they said they would take care of it, you do.
You're an idiot. Because if your excuse is, I thought we were friends and I didn't think that it was a big deal, she said she would take care of it, and you say, I need a car to move from one place to the other, and you know if you keep the car that's on her credit card, there's going to be a big bill, and if you get a ticket because you didn't park in the right space, somebody is going to have to pay that, and it's going to be paid by the person who's got their credit card on the line. You don't say I lost track of it. Idiots lose track of tickets. And very foolish women, really foolish women, put their credit and their credit card on the line in order to have a warm body as a male friend. We understand each other?
Yes.
Very foolish ladies.
Absolutely. Can I say something?
Yes.
I have been renting cars for him for about a year, and he had always paid the bill. And so I had no reason to believe that this situation would be any different.
That's what keeps me in business.
Your Honor.
What? Where's the car bill?
This is for the U-Haul and the...
I see the U-Haul. It's $250.
Yes.
I have it here.
There's the other bills right there.
Just the car. What is this?
That's a bank statement.
I don't want a bank statement. I want a bill.
That's the only documentation I have of the charge on the credit card. It's $2,800.
You'll probably see cash deposits on there as well, where I gave her cash when she needed it.
From what? Did you give her cash?
When she needed the cash, and she was having a hard time different times, and I gave her cash.
Just a second. Give me a date.
I don't know. I don't remember a date. I mean, there were several times.
There was 2 deposits made. The first one was when the same day you dropped off the first rental car, you deposited $1,153, and the charge for it was $1,448. The second deposit
also gave you cash.
No, you
I
did
made
not.
the deposit, but I also gave you cash.
You want to talk to each other? You can go outside and talk to each other, and then I can dismiss the case.
There was another deposit.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
And move on to my next case. So, he paid you $801 and $1,153.
Correct. All of the charges on that, he was the only one that used that card. And so...
Just a second. Okay. Wait a second, please. Check paid May 24th to Avis Rental Car. So that bill was $27.98.
And then there was $1,000 for an AT&T phone that he had.
Well, then you should have canceled that, madam. I don't get into phone bills. Before somebody works up $1,000 on phone bills, you cut off the phone. $376. That's for the U-Haul.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
What?
The cell phone did not get canceled because I had excellent credit. He told me he was paying the bill. I asked him every month, are you paying the AT&T bill? And he said yes. And
call AT&T. I'm not dealing with your phone bill. He owes you for the 2 tickets, the U-Haul, and the difference between what he paid on the rental car and what the rental car cost you. And that total is $1,222.
Out of Tiger versus Davidson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
According to your complaint, your husband, who had suffered a stroke some time ago, needed some assistance, and you hired the defendant because you were planning a European cruise. You hired the defendant who you knew from doing volunteer work at some senior citizen center. And according to you, after about a week on the cruise, he left. There was some disagreement. He left the cruise, and you want him to reimburse you for his tickets, which was some $3,000 for the cruise. Right?
Yes.
He has a counterclaim. He says that he was unceremoniously thrown off the ship, and it cost him some $400 to get back. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And when was the cruise scheduled?
July 25th is the day we left. We had a couple days in London before the cruise.
And your agreement with him was what?
To go on the cruise, all expenses paid. What he would have to do is shower and dress my husband and push the wheelchair. As soon as we got there, it's as if he was totally unable to handle his responsibilities.
And you said after the first day something happened. So tell me what happened.
Our first tour, we were getting off the bus. I asked Joe, bring the wheelchair so my husband could sit down. And so quickly, he jammed the chair against my husband's legs, almost knocking him down. I talked with my hands, and I just said, "Are you crazy?" And I just flung my hand back. And I went to reach for my husband.
Did he wheel him on that tour the first day?
As part of the time.
And then you went back to the cruise ship?
Well, even before we got back there, he told me he did not want to take care of Jack anymore.
What did he say?
He said, "I don't want to do this anymore." I said, "Excuse me?" He says, "I don't want to take care of Jack anymore."
Did he say why?
No, no explanation at all.
So then you got back to the cruise ship, and what did you do?
Well, we got back to the ship. I couldn't do anything that day. That evening, I heard him defaming me to some passengers, telling them that I assaulted him. And I spoke with him and asked him not to do that, that it's not appropriate, and it's none of anyone's business what happened between us. He said he wouldn't talk about it anymore, and he indicated to me that if he could find a way off the ship, he would do it. I told him to go see the purser. 2 days later, when we were in port, I went to the purser. Well, my stepson was sharing a cabin with Joe, and he was very
disgusted that he would have to look at him after what Joe did to his father.
Well, why don't you step up, please? You're Richard?
Yes, ma'am.
You were sharing a cabin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have any conversation with the defendant?
Very little. I was upset about the whole situation, so I avoided him.
Did he, in fact, after the incident, the first day on ship, have any contact with your father?
He actually got into a tuxedo that he had borrowed and participated in the formal dinner that night and came over and attempted to talk to Paula, at which time she asked him to, just not talk to us.
Did he come and shower your father?
No, Your Honor.
Did he wheel him around at all?
No, ma'am. I took over and did all that.
Did you have any discussion with the defendant about leaving the ship?
Just the time that he told Paul if there was any way he could leave the ship that he would. So we went to the purser and tried to find out if that was possible.
And who communicated with the defendant that, in fact, arrangements had been made for him to be dropped off?
Paula and myself looked around the ship and found him in the library and explained the situation.
Who explained the situation?
I did.
What did you say to him?
I told him I arranged for him to leave the ship, and he only had a few minutes to pack.
Where were you?
Ireland, Cove, Ireland.
Okay.
And we assisted him to his cabin, watched him pack.
So you said to him you had arranged for him to leave the ship?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
He said, what? He didn't really say anything. I gave him his ticket from London to the United States, and I told him when you get to the airline, tell them you need to change your date, that you're flying back.
Okay. Now, Mr. Davidson, let's hear your version of the events.
Mrs. Tigger asked me to go on the cruise with her. The first agreement did not mention showering and dressing him. She said, I want you to wheel him around, and I want you to take him out on the deck after lunch and read to him. But the main reason I'm taking you on this cruise is that I am sick of having to get up during dinner to take him to the restroom.
At some point, you changed that agreement with her with regard to showering and dressing?
She said I had to shower and dress him and undress him.
When did she tell you that?
2 weeks before we left.
So that you knew that before you left?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
But before we left, she called me up on the phone, and she said, I'm giving you a check for $2,500. I want you to cash it and give me the cash back. She was acting like she was paying me $2,500 to go on the cruise and then give her the money back.
Let's get to the cruise, Mr. Davidson.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We got to Le Havre. I put together his wheelchair. He sat down in it. I was wheeling his wheelchair. She came back and she assaulted me, saying that I had hit his foot.
How did she assault you?
She punched me with her hand.
Show me how she punched you. With a punch?
With a punch.
Yes.
On my right shoulder.
Yes.
She said, get away from us. We don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Just leave. I went back to the ship. I tried to file an assault report. They refused to take it. I went to the purser. The purser said, are you leaving the ship? I said, I don't have tickets home to leave the ship. I can't leave the ship. She waited until we got to Ireland. They said, you're off the ship. They took me to my room. They made me pack my bags. They handed me this. And they said, you have to do this and you have to take that flight. And you have $200 in traveler's checks to pay for the flight. I got to London and the tickets weren't good for another 9 days.
Go ahead.
I explained to the airline what happened. They saved my life, Your Honor. They gave me a standby ticket. It took me 31 hours to get home.
Mr. Davidson, why would you think that she would unceremoniously throw you off the ship unless she had a problem with the way you were taking care of her husband?
Because she was angry with me because I wouldn't cash her check, and she didn't want me to go on the trip.
Well, that sounds sort of strange, Mr. Davidson, because you said that this was prior to you leaving by several weeks. At that point, it would have been very easy to cash in your ticket and say, forget it, I don't want you to go with me.
I feel I would still be standing here that she would have sued me for not going on the trip.
No. Now, that doesn't make sense, Mr. Davidson. What I just don't understand is something was sufficiently egregious about the way you were handling her husband so that she said, I don't want you to have anything to do with him anymore. Because I believe that you did say that, Miss Tigger. I believe that you said to him, get away, I don't want you to take care of him anymore.
That was the next night.
Whatever, it was the next night. You said, I don't want you to have anything to do with him anymore. So that you don't get the money back from his crew. You don't get the money back, As it happens, he didn't even finish the trip. My question with regard to you is, do you have any sort of counterclaim? Because you said it cost you about $400 to fly from Ireland to London and then your taxi and everything else, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you ever been to Europe before, Mr. Davidson?
I've been to London once.
How long ago?
25 years.
And did you spend 2 days in London?
Yes.
So at least those couple of days were pleasant.
Yes, ma'am.
The reason that I asked you questions before with regard to your treatment of Mr. Tigger was because I can't figure out why she would have fired you. Because I believe she told you that she didn't want you to take care of her husband anymore. And I do believe that you also said to her, I'm not doing this anymore.
No, ma'am, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Never?
No.
Did you appear at their door each morning to shower Mr. Tigger?
No.
That was part of your job?
Yes.
And you didn't do it?
No.
You didn't make an attempt to do it?
I went up to them on Sunday night and I apologized to Mr. Tigger.
What did you apologize for, Mr. Davidson?
I said, if I inadvertently hit your foot, which I did not do, I apologize. I would never do that.
But you did not report to their stateroom each morning.
They called up on the phone and said, send Richard.
Did you ever ask Mrs. Tigger for him to come down and shower your husband?
No.
Miss Tigger, you are not entitled to recoup from Mr. Davidson the money for the ticket.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson had cards made up. Personal travel companion will travel worldwide. And on my dollar, he took these cards and was giving them out to passengers.
So what? So what does that have to do
He
with
would take a disabled person, leave them in their room, and go and enjoy himself on a cruise.
No, Miss Tigger. Please, please. That's really not what happened. And I don't blame you at all for deciding that Mr. Davidson was not giving your husband the kind of compassionate care that you thought he should have. But that doesn't mean you can recoup the ticket unless he left voluntarily.
He did leave voluntarily.
No, he did not leave voluntarily. He did not. You had him ejected from the ship. You just told me that you found him in the library. You had made arrangements for him. He did not even respond to you when you said to him, you're leaving now and you have to pack quickly because you only have a few minutes. You took him to his cab. I said, what had you respond? He said he went, he didn't know what to say. Now, if you had let him remain on the cruise ship for the entire course of your 10-day cruise, and if he did not, in fact, perform his duties, but he took full advantage of this vacation, then you might have had a cause of action. But you arranged for him to leave.
2.5 days after the incident, when he goes around like he's Mr. Hotshot, enjoying the cruise, yes, to tell you the truth, it totally disgusted me. That
So then you made a...
And defaming me to passengers and giving out his business card, which I had never seen before.
Doesn't make any difference. Giving out his business card and telling passengers that you assaulted him is not... You may consider it a reason. And it may be a reason because you say, look, he's talking badly of me, he's giving out his business card, and I'm footing the bill. So I'm getting him off this ship. That's what happened. So you did. You have to pay for it. You lose. The only thing that I have to consider is your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I do, in fact, believe, Mr. Davidson, that at some point you said, I don't want to do this anymore. You may have said it to her after she either pushed you on the arm or slapped you on the arm. You're not accustomed to that. I believe she probably did it out of anger because she saw that her husband either might have been hurt, his foot might have been hurt. But I don't believe that you have a cause of action. You had an option. When she came to you and said to you, you are leaving in Ireland, you could have said to her, I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
And just continue to enjoy the sea breeze.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will stay as far away from them as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't do that. That was your choice. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He had every intention of having an incident, hurting my husband, and then quitting so he could get a free cruise.
Paula is a control freak, and if you don't do what she says, the second she says it, she flips out.
And now the next case.
All parties on Turner versus Peak. Step forward.
33-year-old flight engineer Christopher Turner is suing his ex-girlfriend, 26-year-old child care provider Anna Peak, for the return of a computer monitor and a web camera. Anna says They were gifts.
You used to be the defendant's boyfriend. He broke up some time ago. You say that she has some property that belongs to you. She says everything that she has that you claim belonged to you were gifts. That's what this case is about.
That's correct.
Let's talk about the phone. What kind of phone are we talking about?
It was a Sony 900 megahertz phone. It was a little black phone. I used to call her on the phone, and when she used to go out and feed her ducks and chickens, her old phone she had just was constant static. So I got tired of hearing it after a while, so I just said, hey, I got an extra phone you can borrow. And I brought it over one day, and she used it from then on. I never actually said you can have it as a gift or anything like that.
What else?
A net cam.
A net cam. What's a net cam?
A net cam is something you hook up your computer, and you can get on Microsoft Net Meeting, and you can talk 2 ways, and it shows a video on it also.
Net cam. So tell me the circumstances surrounding you giving her the net cam.
I'm in the military, so when I go TDY, basically temporary duty, I go and fly to Japan, Hawaii, Alaska, and stuff like that for my job. So I always bring my laptop with me. So I got an extra net cam. I saw her online, so I asked her to bring up the program for...
Just a minute. You got an extra net cam. Do you have a net cam?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do with yours?
The first one I have, I let her borrow, and I just showed her
And
how
she
it
was
worked.
your girlfriend?
Yes, she was.
So you are telling me that you said, I am giving you this net cam that you can borrow, but if we break up, you have to give it back because I'm just loaning it to you.
I never actually said it, because I don't ever actually think we're going to break up or nothing like that.
Of course, that's
I'm an
Mr. Turner.
optimistic
That's
person.
exactly what I'm saying, sir. You got it. That's exactly what I'm saying, because I don't think it's kind of romantic. You're off doing this TDY or whatever. You want to be as close as possible to your girlfriend, so you want to be able to communicate with her. So you go out and buy a new one. Not very romantic. You give her the old one, you keep the new one, but, you know, maybe you really weren't so sure about the relationship. What's next, Mr. Turner?
Basically a monitor also that I
A
borrowed.
monitor. When did you give her the monitor?
Around December 18th.
December 18th. Under what circumstances did you give her the monitor? I assume this was for a computer.
Yeah, I built her a computer also. I built computers as a hobby. Well, she had a little 14-inch monitor, and I went to a computer show, and I needed an extra monitor also, so I got a good deal on one.
So you bought yourself a new one?
Yes, I did.
And you gave her your old one?
I took the new one out, put on my computer desk is like a 2-tiered desk. So I already got one 17-inch monitor. When I put the second one on there, the second tier couldn't handle sort of bows in the middle. So I just put my 14-inch monitor on there and let her borrow the other one.
You walk into her house and you've got this new monitor, and you're in love.
Well, I don't know if it's... Okay.
And it's a few days before Christmas. So you say to her, I have something here that you can borrow?
No, what I did, I had the computer wrapped up. I actually wrapped up a monitor because I had a necklace in there
Just
also.
a second. You wrapped up the monitor?
It's how, well,
Just
it was...
a second. You wrapped up the monitor?
Yes.
In what kind of paper did you wrap the monitor?
It was Christmas wrapping paper.
And within that same package, you were also going to give her a necklace.
Yes.
Was it wrapped in the same Christmas paper?
It was actually in a computer box.
So you
originally I was
brought
gonna-
over three presents
That's correct.
wrapped in Christmas paper.
The monitor wasn't a present. I was just gonna, when I gave it to her, I said, hey, here's a computer. It wasn't a computer. When she opened up, she saw it was a computer. I said, what's in the big box is actually a smaller box. The other one I'm just gonna let you borrow.
You said that to her,
That's correct.
Mr. Turner.
No, he didn't.
You would have been out the door. What did she give you for Christmas?
A couple shirts, some pants, and something else. I'm not sure what it is.
Cologne, Obsession.
Cologne.
Yeah, cologne also.
And it's a little gift bag with little playful stuff.
As far as you're concerned, all of these things were gifts.
Correct. Well,
you don't have to say any more. Correct.
Yes.
It's easy. Mr. Turner, get over it. They were all gifts. That's all.
On the calendar in the matter of Banks Jr. versus Helzer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You are suing Mrs. Hessler because her 16-year-old daughter, according to you, stood you up for the prom.
Yes.
For your senior prom. And you had a lot of expenses, and you believe that her mother is responsible for her standing you up.
No, not necessarily, Your Honor. I don't
Well,
feel
she's
that...
responsible because you can't sue her daughter, so you have to sue her mother. Ms. Hessler says that her daughter did not stand you up, that you didn't contact her as you should, but she has a substantial counterclaim, and her counterclaim is that since you believed you were stood up for the prom, you have embarked upon a course of conduct that amounts to harassment and defamation of her daughter's character, which forced her to leave school because she flunked all of her finals, and it became a catastrophe, and she has a counterclaim. When did you invite Dana to the prom?
About May 20th.
Did you do it in person?
No, ma'am. I was introduced to her through a friend of mine. It was her best friend, and I was on the internet, and she instant messaged me. She sent me a message, and...
Who did?
Diana.
Diana sent you a message?
Right.
Saying what?
Just starting a conversation, just, hi, my name is Diana, something to that effect.
So you didn't ask her to the prom?
I did. Eventually, I did.
In person or over the internet?
Over the internet and in person.
Is that right?
I don't remember him asking me in person to prom, no.
How do you believe he asked you to the prom?
Over the internet, we were discussing the fact that he needed to date, and he said, you know, do you want to go with me, basically?
And what did you say?
I said, okay.
You said, okay, so now you had a date. And you knew when you go to the same school?
Yes.
So you knew when the prom was?
Yes.
Okay. So you had to buy, you rented a tux?
No, I bought a tux.
Bought a tux. Figure stopped growing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Buy tickets?
Yes, Your Honor.
Rented a car?
No. I was gonna drive.
Okay. Tux, tickets. What else?
I also had dinner reservations. There was no fee for making the reservations, but there was for canceling reservations.
And what were all your expenses?
My expenses totaled to be, I believe, about $500 and some odd dollars.
Now, did you end up going to the prom, Mr. Banks?
No, ma'am.
Did not?
No.
Tell me what happened. What was the date of the prom?
Saturday, June 4th.
And just prior to June 4th, when had you last spoken with Diana?
June 3rd.
Where did you speak to her?
I spoke with her at school.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I informed her that I'd be getting everything ready, and
did she tell you what color her dress was?
Yes, it was pink.
Did she tell you what kind of flowers she liked?
No, ma'am.
Did you get the flowers?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of flowers did you get?
I got a bouquet of roses, and I got a corsage and a hand thing. I don't know.
The whole 9 yards?
The whole 9.
Did you tell her what time you'd pick her up?
Yes, Your Honor. I told her I'd be there to pick her up at 4.
So what happened, Mr. Banks?
Saturday, I had been running around picking things up, doing everything, getting everything ready. I hadn't spoken with her, but I had been speaking with her best friend, the one that set us up, and my best friend, because we were going to double date to prom. I had been with her friend's date all day, and I was on my way to pick her up, and I got a phone call from her friend saying that she had an allergy attack and she couldn't go to prom.
What time is that?
I'd have to say about 3:50.
Go ahead.
I was getting ready for prom at about 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Got dressed, went and got my nails done, and made my hair appointment, and went and picked up my dress. When I was getting my nails done, I did have an allergy attack, and I went home and I tried to call John after talking to my mom. I called him, and his sister answered, saying that he would be out with friends all night. So I decided, okay, I'm going to stay home for a while. A friend of mine called and said, Diana, or aren't you going to go to prom? And I said, no, I don't feel good. She says, would you like to come over, hang out, and we're not going to go do anything? And I said, okay. We ended up going over to another friend's house, just relaxing and watching movies the rest of the night, and we fell asleep.
Well, that's pretty outrageous, my dear Diana. That's pretty outrageous of you. You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
You agree with I disagree.
Excuse me, I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to your daughter, whose conduct was outrageous. Now, if you have an allergy attack and you are bedridden and staying home, that's one thing. But to go over to a friend's house, hang out and watch a movie is something entirely different. And I would be angry, too, if I got stood up at the last minute.
I had not yet given my permission for them to go.
I don't care.
Okay.
Whether you gave your permission or not. Did she use her own money to buy the dress?
Yes, she did.
And you didn't know about it?
I did know about it.
All right. And when you found out about it, did you say to her, I haven't given you permission?
Yes, ma'am.
When she went to get her hair and nails done, did you say to her, don't bother to have your hair and nails done because I haven't given you permission?
What I said was I haven't yet met Mr. Banks and I haven't given my permission. I need to meet him.
Miss Helsa, it's not an excuse. I'm saying that your daughter's conduct was reprehensible. For a 16-year-old, she stood him up for his prom.
Okay.
And she stood him up not because she was sick, because she decided she didn't want to go. And she went to a friend's house and hung out with friends. And that is reprehensible.
Is that what you did?
No.
Is that what you did?
That is what I did.
You didn't know that?
Did you stand him up because you didn't want to go, or did you stand him up because you went and had an allergy attack and then went over to Julie's house?
It was because I had an allergy attack, and my friend had wanted me to come over because she knew I wasn't feeling well and wanted to hang out.
Listen to me. If you have a debilitating allergy attack, you stay home. Go ahead.
That Saturday was prom, June 4th. June 5th, I broke my rib. June 5th, playing basketball, and so June 6th, I stayed home, which was on Monday. I called her best friend on the phone. We talked about it because she felt bad as well because she set us up together. And I decided to call Mrs. Helser. And we spoke on the phone for a while. She was a really nice lady. And she also felt that what she did was inappropriate. And I know that she's not legally obligated to pay me back because, you know, it's an agreement to go to a social event and that's not a contract. However, her mother being of age and me being of age, she did make a verbal contract over the phone. And I have a witness here. Her best friend is here to testify because she was on the phone when I called her.
What did her mother say?
We spoke about what Diana really did on prom night.
Well, what did you say to her mother? Her mother's here. She's a party. You can tell me what you said to her mother.
I told her that I had an agreement to go to prom with her, and she informed me that she was aware of that Diana actually had an allergy attack. And I told her no, that Diana actually decided to spend the day with her boyfriend because I guess apparently she got a boyfriend that morning and he asked her not to go.
She got a boyfriend that morning?
Yeah, Saturday morning she got a boyfriend, and she decided, and he asked her not to go. So, you know, and that's perfectly fine. But
Are you saying that somebody knows that? That you have a witness here?
That I was on the phone and that she told her that? Yes, I have a witness here.
I'd like to see the witness.
Kayla.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She told me she had spent the night at her boyfriend's house.
What boyfriend?
His name is Jason.
Did you tell your mother that? Look at me. Did you tell your mother you were going to spend the night with Jason?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old John Banks Jr. says 16-year-old Diana Helser stood him up for his prom. Diana and her mother Lori are countersuing for the cost of summer school classes and defamation of character.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in these matters?
Yes.
State your name for the record.
Kayla Brett.
Kayla, are you a friend of hers?
Not anymore, but I was.
Were you the girl who was supposed to double date with them?
Yes.
You had originally set them up? Did you have a conversation with Diana with regard to why she didn't go to the prom with him?
Yes, I did. I called her to make sure that she was ready to go because John was on his way, and she had informed me that she did not want to go.
Did she say why she didn't want to go?
She said she had an allergy attack, but as I continued to talk to her later on that day before my date came to pick me up, she told me that, or I think it was June 5th, that she told me she had spent the night at her boyfriend's house.
What boyfriend?
His name is Jason.
So she said she spent the evening with Jason?
Yes.
Prom evening with Jason?
Yes. She also had, there's a website called MySpace. I don't know if you're familiar. It's
I don't do that machine.
It's a website where you go and you can write journal entries on there, leave comments for friends, and post pictures up there. She had left a blog explaining what she had done that day, and she said that she was at a friend's house roasting marshmallows and she had spent the night there. That's basically confirmed that what she was doing, and I did have a conversation with her, and I was quite upset, and I told her everything, how messed up it was that she had done that.
That's pretty messed up. Did you tell your mother that? Look at me. Did you tell your mother you were going to spend the night with Jason?
I told my mom I was going to spend the night over at Julie's, and I told my mom that we were going over to Jason's to watch a movie. And
your mother just said the word Julie. I never heard your mother say Jason. Your mother was whispered to you, you went to Julie's.
I did go to Julie's, ma'am. We went over to Jason's, who was not my boyfriend.
Just a second. So from Julie's house, you went to Jason's house?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have an attack in between getting from Julie's house to Jason's house, did you?
They're neighbors, no.
Didn't have an attack between Julie's house and Jason's house, did you?
No, ma'am.
And she did call me and checked in, and she called at midnight and let me know that they were just about to finish up a movie and that she would be back at Julie's by 1.
When you spoke to Mr. Banks on the phone 2 days later, did you tell him that you would compensate him for his expenses?
No, ma'am, I did not.
What did you say to him?
I said I needed to see receipts
So you did discuss expenses.
We discussed expenses.
Fine, and you said I needed to see receipts.
Before I would even consider a discussion.
I don't believe you.
Seriously.
I don't believe you. Yep, I believe that you said to him, I will pay those expenses, but I have to see receipts.
I have emails here where he's saying that I agreed to pay $270 for prom, tight. Diana said, quote, Diana said she's going to pay me $270 for prom. Hit me up. And then to Kayla, who responded, I say $300 even. What's an extra $30?
Listen to me. All I said to you was you had a discussion with Mr. Banks, and you are under no legal obligation. I don't believe you are under a legal obligation, but for the fact that you agreed to pay him.
I didn't agree to pay him.
Your Honor. Just a second. In order to have a contract, Mr. Banks, let me explain something. It gets to be a little bit tricky. There has to be, in order to have a valid contract, there has to be some consideration. That means that each person is giving something. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What would be the consideration, in your judgment, for Ms. Helser to make an agreement to pay you any part of your prom expenses?
I think she felt morally obligated. She still stated to me that Diana had just gotten a job. I didn't know Diana had a job. She said Diana had just gotten a job and that she'd make Diana pay me back my money as long as I had receipts. And I have receipts here right now.
Just a second. So she said she would make Diana pay you back.
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe you.
18-year-old John Banks Jr. says 16-year-old Diana Helser stood him up for his prom. Diana and her mother, Lori, are countersuing for the cost of summer school classes and defamation of character.
Go ahead.
I was on the other line. He had three-wayed Miss Helser. While I was on the phone, she did say that Diana would pay for the expenses out of her own paychecks because she had just gotten a job.
That's not true. What I said was I would consider based on seeing the receipts. And whether or not you were on the line.
Miss Helser?
Yes.
I'm going to flip over for a moment to your counterclaim, which I'm prepared to hear in 30 seconds or less. He's got a claim for maybe $500. He's got receipts that totally says maybe $500. You have a $4,000 counterclaim because,
yes,
according to you, your daughter was harassed, defamed, etc. She flunked all of her finals, because of what he did. So you want to get there, please? Diana?
Yes, ma'am.
Start with the ad.
I had been on MySpace and I saw a ad that Kayla had posted about paying people to kick my...
Read it directly.
Just as ad, you don't have to read it to me.
Okay.
What does that have to do with him if Kayla wrote something?
John had confronted some girls at school about...
Don't tell me any hearsay. I don't want to hear any hearsay.
See it.
He had been talking to Kayla on the conversation that I have in front of me about two girls that are going to beat my... and that basically I would look better if my was kicked.
What else?
Okay. In this email, he's saying that she'll look even worse after getting her beat. The girl that's going to beat her is Jason's ex-girlfriend, who's because her and Diana used to be friends, and she thinks that's f***ed up, that she's with her ex. Oh, well, whatever the reason is, she wants to beat her. It'll work. Hit me back.
What does that have to do with him?
This is his word saying that
I don't care. What does that have to do with him? According to that email, Jason, the new boyfriend, had an ex-girlfriend, and the ex-girlfriend of Jason is going to beat her up.
He's got two girls at school ready to beat my daughters.
No. Listen to me. What you just read to me was that the girl is Jason's ex-girlfriend who is angry with her. He may not discourage it. He may even like it. But that's what you just read to me.
I disagree.
Well, I don't care what you agree with, Miss Helser. I would listen to you if you took responsibility for your daughter's bad behavior and said to me, listen, this was a teenage thing. I feel responsible for my daughter's bad behavior. My daughter blew him off, and he was a very nice young man. And
I didn't know that.
I'm speaking. Well, he was a very nice young man. He called you 2 days later. He called you most respectfully. Otherwise, you would have hung up on him. He called you most respectfully and said to you, this is what your daughter did, and it was not the right thing to do. So he was most respectful. And if you came into court, or didn't even have to come to court, if you said to him, look, I think what my daughter did was reprehensible, and I'm going to do the best I can to cover your expenses, and I'll make my daughter pay me back for whatever your costs were, because what she did was immature. She's only 16. But also unkind. And I don't raise my child to be unkind, an unkind human being, then I would have respect for you instead of making excuses.
I'm not making excuses.
You did make excuses, because I didn't hear you say to me at any time, he's a nice young man, he tried to do the right thing. My daughter did the wrong thing. My daughter was not hospitalized. She did not seek doctor's counsel that day or the next day. She went out with her girlfriend Julie and her new boyfriend Jason, and they hung out together until after midnight, and it was not the right thing to do when he was supposed to pick her up at 4 o'clock, and between 4 o'clock and midnight, she was not, I'm speaking, and between 4 o'clock and midnight, she was not in an emergency room.
We did not have any idea when he would arrive to pick her up.
Madam, you are operating somewhere in La La Land. Your daughter knew he was going to pick her up at 4 o'clock.
Did you know that? No, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, you did. Because you spoke to her and you were supposed to double date. So don't give me baloney. Let me see the receipts, please. Did you flunk your classes?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you leave school?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what happens when you do the wrong thing. You didn't give the flowers to anybody else, did you?
No, Your Honor.
You're even, my dear, going to pay for your own flowers, because I think that your mother made an agreement with him to do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $415. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are
Counterclaim is
excused.
dismissed.
You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Wilder, the defendant is your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, your mother was relocating to Hawaii. Where had you been living with her?
In Houston.
In Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
So she was going to try a new life in Hawaii. And you and your mother entered into an agreement, according to your complaint. You could use the car that was in her name, on which there was a loan, and you would make the payments on the car. So far correct?
No, ma'am. To our agreement was that we were going to be taking over the payments for the car.
Just a second. You were going to be paying for the car.
Yes.
And if she decided to stay in Hawaii, according to your complaint, then she would turn the car over to you.
No.
Well, let me read what you wrote, Miss Wilder. Your complaint says, my mother and I had a verbal agreement when she moved to Hawaii in October that if she stayed there, she would sign over her 1996 Corsica to me, and I agreed to pick up the payments. That's what you wrote.
Well, she said that she moved there.
I'm just telling you that's what you wrote in your complaint.
Yes.
And as it turns out, your mother did not stay in Hawaii, but she came home. When did she come home?
About a week and a half before March the 1st.
When did she leave?
Right before the 1st of October.
That's not true.
When did you leave?
November 8th. I came back February 23rd.
So she came back, and she took her car back.
Yes.
And you want her to reimburse you for the payments that you made for those 4 months.
Yes.
According to what you wrote here in your complaint, your agreement was that if she decided to stay there, then she would turn the car over. Now what you're telling me is you were going to take over the payments and the car completely when she left Texas. Is that right?
Her residence was going to be in Hawaii. She moved there.
Miss Wild, try listening to what I'm saying to you. According to what you're saying now, when she left Texas for Hawaii, your agreement was that you were going to now own the car.
Yes.
And it would be your car.
Yes.
So why didn't you make the transfer before she left?
Because I couldn't get anything underneath my name. We didn't have enough money to, we had a vehicle in our name, and we still do. But we had problems with it. It was broke down. We agreed that I would take over the payments for the car, so we put a for sale sign on the truck. The truck wasn't really safe. I was fixing to have my second child, and it was more of a family car, so we agreed to take over the payments.
Okay, how much were the payments?
$300 a month.
And what happened when your mother came home?
Well, right before she came home, we had talked, and I asked her what she was going to do for transportation and everything. And she said that as long as I helped her, get a job, for her to have transportation back and forth, that her exact words were she would go around my schedule. I didn't have a problem with that at all. When she came back, she started having this power thing. That's what it was a power thing. She wanted to have the control over the car. And, I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it does.
I worked nights, she worked during the day. It became a problem. She was like, no, I'm having the car, this and that. We started fighting. She threatened to call the police the first time, and then we had a problem again, and the police did get involved.
Okay. Now, according to you, you paid for the car for October, right?
Yes.
November?
Yes.
December?
Yes.
January?
I have a log from the dealership that's from when I paid.
Who wrote, in whose handwriting is this?
That's the
lien holder.
Yes.
You're supposed to pay this on the 1st of the month?
Yes, ma'am.
The 1st and the 15th. It's scheduled for $150 every 2 weeks.
So you didn't make a payment on the 15th of February, is that right?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
There was a couple times when I paid late and everything, but the man from the dealership, he was a friend of ours. He knew that I would pay. He knew that I was taking over the payments, everything.
No, he knew I was going to pay,
just a second.
Carrie.
But you did not make a payment for February. February 15th's payment you did not make.
She didn't make a whole payment the whole month of January.
I paid late, Your Honor.
February 2nd, she made a payment.
Yes, I paid the full amount for all of January. He knew that man from the dealership...
Don't tell me what he knew. Just answer my questions. You did not pay in January.
No.
You say you made up January's payment in February.
Yes.
But then you didn't make February's payment.
Yes, I did. I was only $100
No, you weren't.
behind. Yes, I was.
When I came back, I had to pay the $450 that she didn't pay, so my insurance got canceled because I didn't have enough money to pay the bill.
Was your agreement with your daughter that this car would be hers, period? Or was your agreement with your daughter that if you stayed in Hawaii, the car would be hers?
Her and her boyfriend both. I talked to them, both of them, and I explained to them that you guys can use the car as long as you make the payments on it. If I don't come back from Hawaii, then as soon as the car was paid off, I would sign it over to her lock, stock, and barrel. Well, by February 15th, I knew I was coming back because she was going to have the baby pretty soon. And I told Carrie, as long as you help me get back and forth to work and I can get you back and forth to work, we'll figure out something. Well, it was to the point where neither one of them were showing up to pick me up for work. I would call and call and call and nobody would answer the phone. And I'd have to find other ways to get back to work.
At 7 o'clock in the morning
That's
and everything,
right.
on a Sunday, on the weekend, she wanted the car, which is understandable, but it was my car. Before she came, her exact words were, she'll go around my schedule.
Just a second. She made the payments. She started to pick up the payments as soon as she came back. Yes.
Yes.
According to these,
Yes,
according to these,
yes.
according to this, according to the dealer, she started to make the payments. So you were not making the payments when she returned from Hawaii.
That's not why she took the car.
That's not what I asked you.
Yeah, but yes, ma'am.
She was making the payment. So the car is in her name.
She was using
and you were using it. Pay attention.
No.
Well, the car was parked in your driveway because you just said to me your complaint was that you would ask for the car at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
This is
so you
before
had
the first. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Before what?
She took the car back before the payment was even due. The insurance payment was even due.
I'm not talking about the insurance payment, Miss Wilder. I'm talking about the car payment, which she clearly made. Put your hand down. Which she clearly made before she took the car back.
No, ma'am. She paid the payment after she took the car from us.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is true. It is true.
Your Honor, I even paid her electric
car.
bill.
The police came, called me on the phone. You need to give the keys to your mother. Everything's in her name. Then the payment was due on the car. The insurance, I told her.
I'm not talking the insurance. You're hooked into insurance. I'm not talking insurance.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carrie Wilder says her mother, Angela Hemley, owes her for car payments and the money she paid for car insurance.
What date did the police come to your house and remove the car from your house?
I'm not sure. I'm not.
Well, first of all, the cops didn't go to her house. They came to where I was staying with my brother.
She was
and they
fine.
made a
What
courtesy
date?
call. I don't know the exact date. It was in April.
I had to be at work that night.
And they explained.
You remember that?
Yes.
Was it in April?
No, it wasn't.
When was it?
Do you know what day it was?
What?
March.
So you say it was in March. Clearly you made no payment in March for the car. And you didn't make the last payment in February, according to your own records.
Yes, it was before March.
No, it wasn't. Miss Wilder.
The reason why I'm
Miss
saying
Wilder,
this is it was before the first of
listen
the
to
month.
me. No.
Yes,
She says
the
April.
police came.
Boyfriend over here says March. And you don't know whether you're a foot or horseback. Pay attention. You had the use of a car for 3 months. You drove it. You went to work with it.
Yes.
Boyfriend went to work with it.
Yes.
And you paid $300 a month for it.
Yes.
You had no other car because you just told me you sold it.
No, we're still trying to sell it. It has a for sale sign.
Well, then it
Broke
must
down.
be a pretty much of a clinker if you can't sell it. So you were using this car. You can't use it for nothing. You couldn't rent a car for $300 a month.
But that's not the agreement that we had.
Yes, it was. The agreement that you had was, according to your sworn complaint, my mother and I had an agreement when she moved to Hawaii that if she stayed there, she would sign over her car to us, and I agreed to pick up the payments.
That's on her. She decided to come back. That was her. She got ID, everything, permanent residence.
Pay attention. If she stayed there, she did not stay there, she moved back.
Yes.
According to your mother, and I believe her because it sounds right. Look, I don't know what we're going to do with the car. Let's try to work together with the car. You're expecting a baby. As long as you take me where I have to go and I can get to work on time and I can get to where else I have to go, let's try to work it out. And then, according to your mother, not only weren't you making the payments on the car in a timely fashion, but there was also a problem picking her up and getting her to work. She decided to take the car back, which she did, which she was entitled to do, even under your agreement, your initial agreement. So your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You can't trust anybody, not even your own family.
I just want to see him happy.
This ain't the first thing, but it's the last thing.
And now the next case.
All parties on Douglas versus Whalen. Step forward, please.
29-year-old kitchen designer Rob Douglas is suing his former roommate, 27-year-old pipe coverer Sean Whalen, for intentionally breaking his dog's leg.
Mr. Douglas, according to your complaint, the defendant was a friend of yours and you decided to share an apartment together. You moved into the apartment and you have a small dog.
Yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
It's a dachshund.
It is your complaint that the defendant purposefully caused your dog to have a broken leg. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you move into this apartment together?
February of 2000.
How many people moved into the apartment?
There was 3 of us.
Did you have the dog in February of 2000?
Yes, I did.
So that you knew that the dog would be moving
I
in?
knew the dog would be coming in, but I also knew that there wasn't no pets allowed in the apartment.
I just asked you if you knew the dog would be coming in.
All right.
When was the dog's leg broken?
The dog's leg was broken a week before I was moved out in February of 2001.
You weren't at home at the time.
No, I wasn't.
What indication do you have that Mr. Whalen did this act purposefully?
He would tantalize the dog. Whenever the dog came into the room, he would stomp near it. One time he threw a beer can at it. Sean and I got into a fight over that. He had broken the dog's cage.
How did he break the dog's cage?
He stepped on the top of it and put a hole into it.
When did he do that?
I was at work again.
When did I do that?
Shh, don't speak to him.
I was at work. I came home, and the dog's cage, I left it in the kitchen. And I came into the kitchen, and there was a huge hole in the top of it. And I asked Sean what had happened. He said the dog had been barking in the cage, and that he had stomped on the top of the cage and broke it.
You mean to stop the dog from barking?
Right. But in the process, he put a huge hole in it.
Wrong.
And I went out and bought a new cage, and then I started keeping the dog up in my room.
In the cage?
Right.
Now, what happened in February of 2001, sir?
I came home from work, and Sean was laying on the living room couch, and he said, "You better sit down." And I said, "Why?" He's like, "Don't flip out." And I'm like, "What'd you break?" And as the time I was sitting down, the dog came down the stairs, limping, and he jumped up on me, on my lap. And I looked at his leg, and it was like hanging, dangling, and the bone was like coming through the skin. He's like, I brought him to the vets. He said that the dog's leg needed to be wide. It was going to be over $2,000. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I was bringing the dog back up to his cage, and he wiggled out of my arms, and he fell on. I had a saw on the top of my stairs, because I'm a carpenter, too. And he said he dropped it on the saw, the dog on the saw.
What time of the day did you leave that day in February?
For work, I left at 8:30 in the morning.
And where was the dog when you left for work?
In his cage in my room.
That's wrong.
Shh. I'm going to get to you. Didn't you understand? What words don't you understand?
All right, I'm all right.
The dog was in the cage when
Yes.
you left. Had you walked the dog that morning?
I let him out the back door. Every morning I would let him out the back door to go to the bathroom, and then I put him up in his cage.
And what time did you return from work that day?
Like 5:30.
So the dog isn't walked between 8:30 and 5:30.
Right. But my other roommate, third roommate, would come home from work at 7:30 in the morning, go to bed, because he worked at night.
Right.
And when he'd get up, he would let the dog out before I got home from work. And then put the dog back in
At
his
what
cage.
time?
Whenever.
Okay. What time did you bring the dog to the vet?
Probably got there around 3 o'clock.
Was that before or after the third roommate woke up?
He wasn't home.
He wasn't home at all?
No.
Okay. And where did you find the dog?
I think he was in the living room,
What was he doing in the living room?
just sitting there. So I was going to bring him up to his cage. I didn't like the dog being out because it would mess in the apartment almost on a daily basis. And I was on my way out again, so I wanted the dog back in his crate So I brought him up. I was bringing him upstairs, and it squirmed out of my arms. He knew where I was bringing him. He didn't want to go there, probably. Squirmed out of my arms, fell on the saw, made a horrible noise, and then it looked to me like his leg was broken, so I brought him to the vet.
Mr. Whalen, I read your answer very carefully, and it's clear from your answer, sir, that you didn't like this little dog. Could you tell me why?
I didn't like its behavior. It must be over 3 years old. It has not been properly trained. It would just pretty much do whatever it wanted. I've seen the dog on a table eating out of a bowl that I would eat out of, standing up on a table. The thing was untrained. It's not that I didn't like the dog. I didn't like the way it behaved. It should have been taken care of better than it was.
Why did you stomp on the cage?
I didn't stomp on the cage. I kicked it, the metal front.
Right.
And I kicked that, and that
Why
was dented.
did you kick at it?
Because the thing it was barking. It wouldn't be quiet.
So that's the way you thought you would get it to be quiet?
A little
by kicking it?
intimidation, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the beer can incident?
I don't recall that incident.
Well, try to think hard. He seems to remember that you threw a beer can in the dog's direction, and then you had a fight about it. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
What responsibility, Mr. Whalen, do you believe you had with regard to the expenses for taking care of this dog?
None.
Why not?
I was simply bringing it back up to its cage, where it should have been.
Had you ever picked up this dog before?
Yes.
Many times?
Many times.
Have you ever put the dog back in its cage before?
Yes, I have.
So the dog has tried to squirm not to go back into the cage before?
Yeah, it has.
When you came home on that day in February, Mr. Whalen, did you look around the house to see if the dog had messed in either your room or around the house?
I didn't look around. I just saw him out, and I brought him upstairs. But it had in the hallway where it usually does. Pretty much it's the same spot
on
every
that
time.
day?
Yes,
Now, when did you notice that, before or after you picked him up?
after.
And when you walked into the house and you saw the dog just sitting in the living room, were you annoyed that the dog was out of the cage?
Annoyed?
Yeah.
No.
You weren't?
Well, I guess a little bit, but I was going out again, and I wanted to put it where it's supposed to be.
Now, you took the dog to the vet,
Yes.
and the vet told you that the dog's leg was broken and needed surgery.
It needed something more than, say, a cast, yeah. So it's going to be expensive.
So can you tell me why you didn't tell the vet to take care of the dog?
It wasn't my dog. I didn't want to make any decisions on it. Spending a couple $1,000s. I asked him if he could do anything for the dog. Like, he gave the dog some pain medication. And I said, probably the owner will probably come back here. I'm not going to make any decisions or tell you to do anything.
Now, when you brought the dog home, where did you put the dog?
I think I just put him up in his room and closed the door.
Mr. Douglas says that when he came home, the dog came limping down the stairs. Had you opened the door?
No.
How did the dog open the door?
The time that I went to the vet and came back, the other roommate had come home.
And?
Maybe he went up and looked at him and left the door open. I don't know.
When
Or
you
maybe
went-
the dog didn't come down like he said.
Well, you were there.
Yeah,
Well, did the dog come down the stairs or not?
I don't remember.
Mr. Whalen, did the vet indicate to you that the dog should be kept immobile until the decision was made about what was going to happen with the leg?
He said it was a pretty severe fracture.
Did he say that the dog should be kept immobile?
I don't remember hearing him say that, no.
Do you think it was a good idea, Mr. Whalen, if the dog had a severe fracture, to put the dog back in its cage when you brought it home instead of just putting it in the room so it wouldn't be walking around with this broken leg? Wouldn't that seem like common sense?
Yeah, I guess the dog could have been in the room just lying there, too.
Could have been, but as you said, the dog was untrained. Dogs not as smart as people. You put the dog in the cage, they can't walk around and further aggravate the break. So why didn't you put the dog in the cage?
I don't know, I just didn't put him in there. I put him in his room and I closed the door.
Your claim, Mr. Douglas, is that Mr. Whalen purposefully caused injury to your dog.
Yes.
That's the basis of your claim. If it was merely an unforeseen accident, he would not be responsible.
Right.
So I have to make a judgment as to whether I believe that Mr. Whalen did, in fact, act in such a reckless manner with your dog as to make him responsible for the vet bills. You understand that?
Yes.
I believe he did. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of
Whatever.
$2,000, that's all.
Parties are excused. Jeter. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Kochan, there's your claim that you made a loan to the defendant for her to have breast augmentation surgery.
Correct.
And in addition, you paid some of her bills while she was recuperating.
Yes.
You want to be reimbursed for this loan. Ms. Jeter says that there was no loan. You did this because you were sort of infatuated with her, and there was no expectation that you would ever be repaid for the money that you gave her. So let's just cut to the chase. Are you a very rich man?
I do all right.
Yes, he is definitely a rich man.
We'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Do you give to charity? Don't look down. That's a very simple question. The words, if you're a rich man,
No.
You don't. So you're not a philanthropist?
No.
So there had to be a reason, sir, why you decided to loan money to somebody that you weren't related to for a surgical procedure that was not necessary. You know, she wasn't having a kidney replaced. Why don't you tell me why you did that?
Well, she was a tenant of mine for a while. And when she moved in, she cleaned the apartment up that she lived in. She cleaned it up very well, better than most of the people I hired to do that. So as time went on, as apartments came available, I would ask her if she wanted to do it. And she was making $200 an apartment, doing one a day. You know, at her age, making $1,000 a week, it was pretty good money. We live in Las Vegas, and women with big breasts get better jobs. It's a fact.
She doesn't need that if she's just doing house cleaning.
Correct, but she doesn't want to be a housekeeper forever.
I assume not from the outfit she chose to wear to court that she doesn't want to be a house cleaner forever. You still don't answer my question, sir. My question was, why did you loan Miss Jeter, your tenant/house cleaner, money for breast surgery?
Because she came to me and asked for it. And I thought it would be a good loan because at the time she was making a lot of money for me.
Well, tell me about the time she came to you, sir, and asked you for the loan.
We were at an apartment.
Okay.
And she basically said she got...
Okay, and when was this?
Early part of November of '03.
And you say to her, and she says to you, let me have it.
She says she doesn't like doing this anymore. She wants to get into something else, work in the casino. And if she had breast augmentation, it would help her get a good job. So at that time, she asked me for it.
What did she ask you?
To buy her, to loan her the money to get breast augmentation.
And you said?
I don't know. And it took a while, you know, a little bit of persistence over the next couple of weeks, till finally I gave in, said, okay.
Did you ever say to her, why don't you just put this on your credit card since you're making this kind of good money? You can pay off your credit card. Bada bing, bada boom.
Because
2 months.
She didn't have a credit card.
Well, she could pay off the doctor.
Doctor wouldn't finance her.
How do you know that?
Because she went to the doctor and the doctor said he wouldn't.
How do you know that?
She told me.
So then you asked her that question. Is that what you're telling me, Mr.
I pretty much assumed that.
No.
There's no way she could do
Don't listen to me. Don't assume anything. When I ask you a question, give me an answer. Not a makeup. Not a what you suppose.
Okay, what was the question one more time?
The question was, why couldn't she finance the surgery by paying off the doctor? And you said to me, because the doctor wouldn't accept payments. And I said, how do you know that? And you said, well, I just pretty much surmised.
Well,
so the answer is, I don't know.
It's my credit.
I didn't speak to you.
Okay.
You see, what I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Cochin, is if you're going to be honest with me, sir. You left out the fact that you and Miss Jeter dated a few times, according to what I read here. Is that right?
Correct.
Well, why didn't you put that in? You made it appear as if this was a strictly business relationship, sir.
We went out a couple times. That wasn't a relationship.
How many times is a couple of times?
3. A couple dinners, a movie.
Okay. And at the time that you loaned her the money, when was the time immediately prior to that that you had been out on a date with her?
It was after that.
So after you loaned her the money, you went out on several dates?
3 dates.
Now, after December, did you try to see her again? Did you try to date again?
No, we just didn't really get along. We were just different people.
Is that right?
Definitely.
Did you ask her out again?
No.
Any particular reason for that?
We just didn't seem to get along. We didn't click.
Now, in January, I assume Miss Jeter went back to work. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
How much money did she give you in January?
On January 12th, she cleaned an apartment for me, which I credit her $200.
Is that right, Miss Jeter?
Yes.
Okay. When's next, Mr. Coachman?
Then on January 16th, which I assume she got paid on the 15th from her job at the time, she gave me $100. Then on February 1st, she gave me another $100. Mm-hmm. And then on February 14th, she gave me another $100. So she paid me back a total of $500.
Out of how much?
Out of a total of $5,050.
I'll hear you.
He pretty much put it in my head that he wanted to do that for me, okay? He gave me the idea since
How did he put that in your head?
Because I told him that what I wanted to do for a job, okay, and that was cocktail in Las Vegas. I've already been offered a job in Las Vegas to do that. And it's just easier to get a job having this operation done when I had nothing before. And so he said, well, yeah, you know, his ex-girlfriend had it done, and so he told me that that'd be a good idea. So he made me feel like it was okay to ask him to do that. Okay, as far as paying him back goes, nothing was supposed to come out of my pocket cash-wise. I was supposed to just clean his apartments out, but none came available after my operation was done. I was healed and everything. So I had to get a new job and just to pay my bills off, and I wanted to move because it's a bad area.
Yeah, but if I don't have a
Just a second. What you're saying to me was it was a loan.
Okay.
And you were supposed to pay him back. Stop twisting your head. Can you keep your head still, please? You look like a
It just keeps
back
getting
of
in
a
my
car.
face. Sorry.
What you're telling me is that what you were supposed to do is pay him back in kind by cleaning the apartments for which you were paid $200 an apartment, and you were going to pay him back from that, but that after January, apartments didn't become available. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you also, in the same breath, said to me that you wanted to get away from that area because it's a bad area. So was it your intention to go back to the complex to do cleaning to pay off this loan?
Yeah, that was before I had gotten my job already, that I had to pay the bills to pay to get out of that place.
But that new job, I assume, didn't leave you the same kind of free time as your previous work, if any, so that there was no time for you, even if apartments became available, to clean the apartments. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Get her a copy of my book.
He didn't
Gonna get her a copy of the book.
Giving me work, okay? No apartments were available, so I had to get a job to where I could have money, and so I could pay my bills. And he didn't he didn't live up to his part of the bargain. So.
Yeah, but if apartments. I got it. I just laid it out. Sir, did you ever hear the story, there's no fool like an old fool? Right? Right. You're not so old, but you're pretty foolish. Better give your money to charity. Do you understand? There are all kinds of worthwhile charities around. The breast augmentation surgery doesn't fall under that category. Do I make myself clear? All right. She owes you $4,550. She doesn't dispute the amount, only that it was a loan. It was a loan. Pay it back. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I loaned her money and she didn't pay it back. So now we came to court and it's solved, and hopefully I'll get paid back now.
How do you live without money, right? And I have to pay bills, and, you know, he's interfering with that, so.
No, we dated a few times and it didn't work out, and that was the end of it. We ended it.
I'm just glad it's over with, and I'll definitely never get myself in this situation again.
I guess justice prevailed. I won.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCaskill versus Poole. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Matt McCaskill is suing his schoolmate, 16-year-old Anthony Poole, and his father, Rob Poole. Matt claims Anthony keyed his truck.
Mr. McCaskill, it is your claim that Mr. Poole, this young man, keyed your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Poole says that he did not do that. I assume you're his father?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't present, is that right?
No.
You're here only because he's a minor.
That's correct.
You can sit down. When do you say that Mr. Poole keyed your car, sir?
February 25th.
Where?
On the driver's door to the driver's
not where on the car.
Oh.
Where was the car?
Oh, it was at the Midlothian High School parking lot.
What time?
3:40.
And where were you?
I was sitting in my truck.
Well, tell me about that, sir.
It was, I had just arrived, and I was waiting for my girlfriend to get out, and he was in football, which they had got out a little early at 3:40, which the bell rings at 3:45 each day. I had seen him walking down the parking lot. It was rainy, and my windows on my truck are dark, and when he was coming down, he walked between the two trucks and pulled his key out of his...
Walk between which two trucks?
My truck and the truck to the left of me. And he walked through, he pulled out his key out of his left pocket, and ran it from the driver's door to the driver's bed, and I had got out.
Okay. Did you know Mr. Poole before
I have known of him. I've never met him.
Had you ever seen him before?
Yes, ma'am.
Where had you seen him before?
I had seen him at school and the Whataburger parking lot in Midlothian.
Immediately prior to the 25th of February, when had you seen him? A week, 2 weeks?
About a week.
Did you have any conversation with him?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so after you saw him key your car, what did you do?
I got out and started yelling at him to get back and...
To get back where?
To get back over here because of what he had done, in which he had ran to the football fields, or where they play, which is also the baseball field house.
Did you follow him?
Yes, the two eyewitnesses that had seen him were in a 1984 Chevrolet Suburban, in which I hopped in with them and we drove down there.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you file the police report on that day, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
When a woman tells you her problems, it's not random. It's not small talk. It's a sign. And if you misunderstand it, you'll lose her trust and respect. Most men don't know what it means when a woman opens up about her struggles. Some dismiss it, some rush to fix it, and others get overwhelmed. But here's the truth. If she's sharing her problems with you, it means she feels safe enough to let you into her world. And safety, not looks, not money, is the foundation of attraction and respect. In this video, I'll break down why her problems are actually an opportunity, what psychology and stoicism reveal about this dynamic, and how you can respond like a strong, grounded man instead of collapsing under the weight of her emotions. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Here we blend Stoic philosophy with modern female psychology so you can master attraction, relationships, and self-respect. Point 1. Problems are a sign of trust. Problems are a sign of trust. Most men misunderstand the moment a woman begins opening up about her problems. They see it as complaining, nagging, or emotional overload. But the truth is far deeper. When a woman shares her struggles with you, it's a sign of trust. Women don't hand their vulnerability to just anyone. They test the waters. They choose carefully. And if she's bringing her worries, frustrations, or private fears to you, it means you've crossed a threshold in her mind. You're not just some guy. You're someone she feels safe enough to let into her inner world. Psychologists call this selective disclosure. Humans don't reveal personal struggles randomly. We reveal them only to those we believe will handle them with care. Think about it. Does she tell her problems to every man hitting on her? To the stranger who compliments her looks? To the co-worker who barely knows her? No, she saves them for the one she believes can actually listen, hold space, and not judge. Her willingness to share her problems is her way of saying, I trust you with my raw self. I trust you with the unfiltered me, and in relationships, trust is everything. Without it, attraction may spark but will never last. Case A, no trust. Jessica has dozens of men messaging her daily, offering compliments and attention, but she never tells them her problems. Why? Because she doesn't see them as safe or stable. They're just noise. Case B, trusted presence. With her boyfriend David, it's different. When she's stressed about work, worried about her family, or feeling insecure, he's the one she opens up to. Why? Because his presence feels safe. He doesn't mock her, dismiss her, or weaponize her words. He listens. Notice it's not the attention giver she trusts. It's the man who holds space without judgment. Too many men see her problems as a burden. They think, why does she keep dumping this on me? But here's the reality. If she's telling you her problems, it's not to dump on you. It's because she values you enough to let you in. The real danger isn't her talking. It's when she stops, when a woman goes silent, when she no longer shares, when she keeps everything to herself. That's when the relationship is dying. So if she's opening up, don't see it as weight. See it as privilege. Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. She doesn't waste her deepest words on men she doesn't trust. Her problems are a form of truth, and truth is sacred. If she shares them with you, she sees you as a man worthy of that truth. The Stoics believed in the virtue of reliability, being someone others could depend on in moments of chaos. When she shares her problems, she's not asking you to fix the world. She's testing if you can remain steady while she reveals her chaos. The trap is frustration. Men sometimes think, why does she keep talking about these issues? Why me? But that mindset is ego-driven. A stoic man doesn't see her problems as annoyance. He sees them as signals of trust. The second trap is seeing her problems as weakness. But vulnerability is not weakness. It's courage. By sharing, she's risking judgment. If you mishandle it, she retreats. If you handle it with steadiness, she leans in deeper. One man shared how his girlfriend used to open up about her insecurities. At first, he brushed them off, telling her, "Don't worry about it. You're fine." She stopped opening up to him. Later, she admitted, "I felt like you didn't care about what I was saying." When he learned to simply listen and validate her feelings, the dynamic shifted. She opened up more. Their bond deepened. She trusted him not just with her body, but with her soul. When a woman tells you her problems, it's not random. It's trust. It means she sees you as safe, steady, and worthy of her raw truth. Don't dismiss it. Don't resent it. Respect it. Because the moment she stops sharing is the moment she stops trusting. And without trust, attraction dies. Point 2, she doesn't want you to. She doesn't want you to fix everything. When a woman shares her problems, the natural male instinct kicks in. Fix it. She says she's stressed about work. You suggest a new routine. She says her friend betrayed her. You suggest cutting them off. She says she feels unattractive. You pile on compliments. You think you're helping. But here's the harsh truth. She's not always looking for solutions. She's looking for connection. Men are wired to solve problems. It's part of our evolutionary design. See a problem, find a solution, remove the obstacle. But women often process problems differently. Psychologists call this emotional processing. For many women, talking about problems is a way of sorting through emotions, not necessarily seeking a direct fix. The act of expressing is the healing. When you rush to fix everything, you unknowingly dismiss her feelings. It sounds like you're saying, "Stop talking." Here's the answer. And that makes her feel unheard. Case A, the fixer. Emily tells her boyfriend Mark, "I feel overwhelmed with my job." Mark immediately replies, "You should look for a new one. I'll send you some links." His heart is in the right place, but Emily feels brushed aside. She wasn't ready to jump to solutions. She just wanted him to listen. Case B, the listener. Emily tells her other friend, "I feel overwhelmed with my job." The friend replies, "That sounds tough. What's been the hardest part lately?" No solutions, just presence. Emily feels heard, respected, and closer to that friend. Notice the difference. Mark tried to help but failed to connect. The friend didn't solve the problem but deepened the bond. When you rush to fix her problems, two things happen. She feels minimized. Instead of sitting in her feelings with her, you leapfrog to a solution, making her feel like you didn't really hear her. You lose frame. By over-investing in solving everything, you put yourself in a position of desperation. I must fix her or I'll lose her. This drains your masculine power. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and presence, not on things beyond us. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Her problems are outside events. Your strength lies in your response, not in fixing everything, but in being steady while she shares. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is listen, calmly validate, and remain unshaken. The male ego wants credit. You want her to say, "Thank you. You fixed my problem. You're amazing." So you rush to prove your worth by offering solutions. But ironically, the harder you try to fix, the less respected you feel, because she doesn't want you to fix her world. She wants you to hold your frame while she shares it. A man told me he almost ruined his relationship because he couldn't stop being Mr. Fix-It. Every time his girlfriend vented, he cut her off with advice. Eventually, she stopped opening up. When she finally told him why, she said, "I don't need you to fix everything. I need you to just listen." He changed his approach. Instead of offering solutions, he started listening, nodding, asking thoughtful questions, and letting her speak. To his surprise, she began respecting him more, not less. His strength wasn't in solving, it was in staying steady. Listen fully. Don't interrupt with solutions. Validate. Say things like, that sounds tough, or I can see why you feel that way. Stay calm. Don't get dragged into a storm. Be the anchor. Offer solutions sparingly, only if she directly asks for your advice. The second reason her problems are powerful is because she doesn't want you to fix everything. She wants to know you can sit with her emotions without collapsing, dismissing, or panicking. Your strength isn't in solving, it's in staying. When you stop trying to fix and start listening like a stoic, you earn more respect, deepen intimacy, and show her that your frame is stronger than her storm. Point 3, emotional weight tests. Your emotional weight tests your frame. When a woman opens up about her struggles, she's not only looking for comfort, she's testing your frame. She may not be aware of it consciously, but at a deep psychological level, she wants to see, can this man handle my emotions without collapsing? Can he stay calm when I'm not? Can he be steady when I'm in chaos? This isn't manipulation, it's instinct. Women naturally test men's emotional strength because attraction flows to stability. And the moment you prove your frame is unshakable, her respect for you deepens. Psychologists describe this as emotional co-regulation. Humans influence each other's emotional states. If one partner panics, the other tends to panic too. But if one partner stays calm, the other begins to settle down. When she shares her emotional weight, she's essentially asking, can you hold this storm without being swept away? Can you anchor me when I feel unstable? If you crumble under her weight, snapping, complaining, or running away, she subconsciously feels I can't rely on this man. But if you stay grounded, she feels this man can hold me. This is strength. Case her frame collapses. Sarah tells her boyfriend, Tom, I feel like everything is falling apart at work. Tom gets anxious himself and says, well, what are you going to do? This is really bad. You could lose your job. Instead of calming her, amplifies the stress. His frame collapses. Case B, frame holds. Sarah tells her other friend David the same thing. David listens calmly and says, that sounds rough, but you've handled challenges before, and I know you'll get through this one too. Sarah feels lighter, not because he solved it, but because his steadiness steadied her. The difference? Tom reflected her chaos. David absorbed it and stayed grounded. Your words matter less than your energy. You don't need perfect advice. You don't need clever solutions. What she feels is your emotional state. If you're calm, she relaxes. If you're panicked, she spirals. If you're dismissive, she shuts down. If you're steady, she feels safe. Frame is about being the rock she leans on when waves crash. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's exactly what she's testing. She doesn't expect you to control her world. She expects you to control yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. Her problems are outside events. Your reaction is inside your control. Strength lies in mastering your response. When faced with a woman's problems, men often fall into two traps. Collapsing, they absorb her chaos and spiral with her. Instead of calming, they amplify stress. Rejecting, they get frustrated and shut her down, saying things like, you're always complaining. This kills trust. Both responses weaken your frame. The Stoic response, neither collapse nor rejection. You listen, stay calm, and let your stability do the work. Odysseus. A man told me his girlfriend would often come home venting about her day. He used to get annoyed thinking, why does she always dump this on me? He snapped at her once, and she immediately stopped sharing. Their bond weakened. Later, he learned to approach it differently. He stopped seeing her venting as a burden and started seeing it as a chance to demonstrate steadiness. He would simply listen, nod, and reassure with calm words. Over time, she trusted him more, respected him more, and their intimacy grew. Why? Because he passed the test of emotional weight. The third reason her problems matter is because they test your frame. She's not trying to drown you. She's seeing if you can swim when the waters get rough. If you collapse, she loses trust. If you hold steady, she feels safe, admired, and drawn closer. Your power isn't in fixing her problems. It's in showing that no problem can shake your composure. That's what makes her respect you as a man. Point 4. Silence often speaks louder than advice. Silence often speaks louder than advice. When a woman shares her problems, most men feel the pressure to say the right thing. They think, if I don't give good advice, I'll fail her. But here's the hidden truth. Sometimes silence is more powerful than words. Your ability to stay present, to simply listen without rushing to fill the space, communicates more strength than any lecture, solution, or motivational speech. Why? Because your calm presence validates her emotions in ways words often cannot. Psychologists call this active listening. It's not about replying quickly. It's about showing through body language, eye contact, and presence that you're fully engaged. Humans crave being heard more than being fixed. Studies show that when someone feels truly listened to, their stress hormone levels drop, even without receiving solutions. Listening is healing. So when you hold space in silence, she feels seen. When you cut her off with advice, she feels dismissed. Case A, the talker. Melissa tells her boyfriend Jake she's anxious about a fight with her best friend. Before she finishes, Jake jumps in. Well, just stop talking to her. Honestly, she doesn't sound like a good friend anyway. Melissa feels shut down. She didn't want instant judgment. She wanted to be heard. Case B, the listener. Melissa tells her other friend Daniel the same story. Daniel listens, nods, and doesn't rush to respond. After a pause, he simply says, "That sounds like it hurt." Melissa instantly feels understood, even without a solution. The difference? Jake's advice minimized her emotions. Daniel's silence magnified his support. Silence communicates. Patience. You're not desperate to speak. You're grounded enough to wait. Confidence. You don't need to prove your intelligence with constant advice. Presence. You value her words enough to let them breathe. Most men ruin their power by over-explaining, over-advising, or over-talking. The stoic man knows silence is not emptiness, it's composure. Seneca said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The Stoics believed silence was a form of wisdom. To stay quiet while others pour out their emotions is to show mastery over yourself. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to avoid unnecessary speech. Words carry weight, and silence can sometimes carry even more. Your ego may whisper, "If I don't say something clever, she'll think I'm useless." That's a lie. She's not measuring you by your advice. She's measuring you by your presence. The trap is filling every silence with chatter. Men who cannot sit in silence reveal insecurity. Men who can sit calmly in silence radiate strength. A man once told me his girlfriend would come home, sit on the couch, and vent about her day. He used to lecture her with solutions. One day, he decided to just sit, hold her hand, and listen quietly. She cried, vented, and eventually leaned into him, saying, "I don't know why, but I feel better." He didn't solve anything. He didn't say much, but his silent presence made her feel safer than any words ever could. The fourth reason her problems matter is because silence often speaks louder than advice. Don't think your power lies in talking. Your power lies in listening, in holding space, in proving through calm presence that you can handle her emotions without flinching. Sometimes the strongest words are no words at all. Point 5. Problems build emotional intimacy. Problems build emotional intimacy. Most men think intimacy comes only from the good times, romantic dates, shared laughter, or victories celebrated together. And yes, those moments matter. But here's the hidden truth. Real intimacy is built in the struggles, not the celebrations. When a woman shares her problems with you, she's not pushing you away. She's inviting you into her inner world. Every problem she reveals is an invisible bridge connecting you closer if you cross it with patience and presence. Psychologists call this emotional co-regulation. It's when two people share emotions so deeply that one person's stability calms the other's chaos. Think about it. She cries. You stay steady. Her nervous system syncs with yours. She vents. You listen. She feels lighter, even if nothing is fixed. She doubts herself. You remind her of her strength. Intimacy grows. Problems aren't interruptions to intimacy. They are intimacy, because vulnerability is the foundation of true connection. Case A. Surface-level bond. Megan and Ryan have fun dates, lots of laughs, and good chemistry. But whenever Megan brings up deeper issues, Ryan shuts down. He says, "Don't be negative. Let's just have fun." Their relationship feels light but shallow. Eventually, Megan stops opening up, and attraction fades. Case B. Deeper bond. Megan shares her problems with Daniel. Daniel listens, doesn't flinch, and reassures her without judgment. Megan feels seen. She trusts him more. Their intimacy grows, not because he solved everything, but because he proved he could hold her emotions. The difference? Ryan avoided depth. Daniel embraced it. Here's the paradox. Even if you can't solve her problem, she still feels closer to you just because you shared the emotional weight. It's not about whether you fix things. It's about whether you're there. Emotional intimacy doesn't demand perfection. It demands presence. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Love to the Stoics wasn't just joy, it was resilience. Sharing in struggles and staying composed together is what creates lasting bonds. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold, adversity tests men. Problems are the fire that tests not just men, but relationships." If you can remain steady while she's vulnerable, the bond that forms is unbreakable. Too many men view her problems as obstacles. If she didn't complain so much, we'd be happy. But that mindset is short-sighted. You're seeing intimacy as only joy, not realizing that struggle is the glue that deepens connection. The second trap, using her problems against her later. If you throw her vulnerability back at her during an argument, the intimacy dies instantly. Stoic strength means guarding her secrets, not weaponizing them. A Manonce shared how his girlfriend went through a tough season with family conflict. He didn't know what to say, so he simply listened, hugged her, and stayed calm. Later she told him, "I don't remember what you said, but I remember how safe I felt with you." That's emotional intimacy. She didn't fall in love with his solutions. She fell in love with his presence. The fifth reason her problems matter is because they build emotional intimacy. If you embrace her problems instead of avoiding them, you move from surface-level connection to soul-level bond. Solutions fade, emotions remain. And when she feels safe enough to give you her vulnerability, she's giving you the deepest form of intimacy possible. Point 6. Respect comes from boundaries. Respect comes from boundaries. When a woman opens up, it's tempting for a man to swing to extremes. Either he takes on all her problems like a savior, or he rejects them entirely because he feels overwhelmed. Both are mistakes. The truth is this: your respect comes from boundaries. Supporting her doesn't mean sacrificing your peace. Listening doesn't mean absorbing her emotions as your own. A strong man can sit with her pain without letting it crush him, and also knows when to step back and say, "This isn't mine to carry." Psychologists define boundaries as the invisible lines that protect your emotional, mental, and physical space. Without them, relationships become unhealthy. If you absorb all her problems, you become her therapist, not her partner. Resentment builds. If you ignore all her problems, you become detached and cold. Intimacy dies. Boundaries are the balance. I will listen and care, but I won't destroy myself to fix what isn't mine to fix. And paradoxically, women respect men more when they see those boundaries clearly. Case A, no boundaries. Olivia vents to her boyfriend Chris every day. Chris makes her problems his problems. He stays up late worrying about her issues, loses sleep, and sacrifices his own responsibilities. Eventually, he feels drained. Olivia, instead of respecting him, begins to see him as emotionally weak. Case B, strong boundaries. Olivia vents to her other friend Daniel. Daniel listens patiently, but doesn't spiral with her. When she asks him to fix everything, he calmly says, "I'll support you, but this is something you'll need to work through too." Olivia doesn't resent that. She respects it. She sees his steadiness as strength. Chris collapsed. Daniel set boundaries. Guess who kept her respect? Boundaries signal self-respect. You value your energy and peace, strength. You can listen without being consumed. Clarity. You know where your responsibility ends and hers begins. When you lack boundaries, you look weak because weakness is saying yes when you should say no. Strength is listening without letting chaos break your frame. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Her problems are largely outside your control. Your power lies in how you respond, not in solving everything. Stoicism teaches self-mastery, not endless self-sacrifice. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Boundaries align with this principle. If it's not yours to carry, don't carry it. When you care for her, it's easy to blur lines. You think if I don't take on all her problems, she'll think I don't love her enough. But the opposite is true. The more you sacrifice your peace to fix her world, the more she loses respect. She doesn't want a savior. She wants a man who can stand strong while she faces her storms. If you collapse, she loses faith in your strength. A man told me that when his girlfriend went through financial trouble, he drained his savings to bail her out twice. Instead of gratitude, she grew distant. Why? Because his lack of boundaries showed desperation. Later in life, with new wisdom, he supported his next partner differently. He listened, encouraged and offered advice, but didn't ruin himself to fix everything. She respected him more, saying, "I love that you support me, but also hold your ground." Boundaries gave him strength in her eyes. The sixth reason her problems matter is because respect comes from boundaries. You are not her therapist. You are not her savior. You are her man. And the man she respects most is the one who supports without collapsing, listens without absorbing, and loves without losing himself. Boundaries don't push her away. They pull her respect closer. Point 7. Problems are an opportunity for growth. Most men dread it when a woman starts sharing her problems. They think, "Here we go again, more drama, more stress." They see her problems as a burden. But there's the truth that separates boys from men. Her problems are not obstacles, they're opportunities. Every time she opens up, you have a chance to prove who you are. Not by fixing everything, not by rescuing her, but by demonstrating patience, presence, and strength. Her problems are not tests to punish you. They're invitations to grow closer and to grow stronger as Aman. Psychologists talk about the concept of bonding through adversity. Couples who endure and navigate problems together often report deeper connection than couples who only share good times. Why? Because adversity reveals character. When she shares her struggles and you hold your frame, she doesn't. Problems are an opportunity for growth. Just feel supported. She feels connected. She realizes this man won't run when life gets hard. This man is safe to lean on. Growth isn't found in comfort. Growth is forged in discomfort. Case A, missed opportunity. Lisa shares her struggles with her boyfriend, Mark. Instead of listening, he rolls his eyes and says, "You're always stressed. Can't we just enjoy ourselves for once?" Lisa shuts down. A chance for growth turned into distance. Case B, opportunity seized. Lisa shares her struggles with her other friend, David. David listens patiently, stays calm, and reassures her. "I hear you. I know this feels heavy, but you're strong enough to get through it." Lisa feels closer to David, not because he fixed her life, but because he showed strength in her storm. Mark avoided discomfort and lost intimacy. David embraced discomfort and deepened connection. Problems force you to practice. Patience, not rushing to fix, not snapping in frustration. Presence, being there fully, not half distracted. Boundaries, supporting without losing yourself. Strength, staying calm when emotions run high. Each time you respond well, you grow. Each time you collapse, you reveal where you need to improve. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. Her problems are not obstacles, they are the way. They give you a chance to live out Stoic principles: composure, self-control, empathy, and presence. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power." You can't control her life circumstances, but you can control your patience, your steadiness, and your response. Her problems are opportunities for you to embody virtue, not just talk about it. Men often ask, "Why does she always bring me problems? Why can't it just be easy?" The trap is wishing for a relationship without challenges. But that's fantasy. The Stoic man doesn't wish for fewer problems. He wishes for greater strength. He sees each problem as a training ground. If you view her struggles as burdens, you'll resent them. If you view them as opportunities, you'll grow from them. A man told me his girlfriend went through years of family drama. At first, he resented it, thinking, "Why do I have to deal with this?" But when he shifted his perspective, everything changed. Instead of running, he embraced the chance to be steady. Years later, she told him, "The reason I trust you with everything is because you never ran when things gotted." Her problems became the soil where their intimacy grew. The seventh reason her problems matter is because they're opportunities for growth. They test your patience, sharpen your boundaries, and deepen your intimacy. If you run from them, you miss the chance to grow as a man. If you embrace them with stoic calm, you transform not just the relationship, but yourself. The problems aren't the enemy, they're the path. Point 8. Problems reveal her problems, reveal her true respect for you, true respect for you. When times are easy, when everything is light-hearted, fun and smooth, respect is rarely tested. She may laugh, flirt, and seem deeply connected. But the real test of respect comes when problems arrive. Here's the truth. The way she shares her problems with you reveals how much she respects you. If she trusts you, she'll come to you with vulnerability. If she doesn't respect you, she'll either keep silent, go to other people, or even use her problems as a weapon against you. Psychologists call this attachment behavior. In relationships, people naturally turn to the person they feel safest with during times of distress. If she goes to you, it's a sign she respects your stability. If she avoids you, it's a sign she doubts your strength. If she dumps her problems on you in a hostile way, it's a sign she sees you as weak, not as a leader. This is why her problems aren't just about her. They're reflections of your standing in her mind. Case A, no respect. Hannah has issues with her career but never shares them with her boyfriend. Instead, she vents to her friends or posts vague messages online. Why? Because she doesn't see him as capable of handling her struggles. His place in her life is shallow. Case B, deep respect. Emma goes through the same struggles but shares them openly with her boyfriend, Alex. She doesn't just want comfort, she wants his perspective. Why? Because she respects his mind, his steadiness, and his way of seeing the world. The difference? Hannah's boyfriend is on the outside. Alex is on the inside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Respect isn't gained by demanding her attention. It's earned by being the man whose presence she feels safe leaning into. Problems reveal whether or not you've earned that status. If she brings her storms to you, it's proof you've built respect. If she hides them, it's a warning sign. You've got work to do in strengthening your frame. Her problems are more than words, they're reflections of her respect. If she shares them, you're inside her trusted circle. If she avoids you, you're not yet the man she leans on. Problems reveal where you stand. Point 9. Problems teach you. Problems teach you emotional leadership. Emotional leadership. When men think of leadership, they often picture making decisions. Where to go, what to do, how to plan. But the deeper form of leadership in a relationship isn't logistical, it's emotional. When she shares her problems, she's unconsciously asking, "Can you lead me emotionally through this moment?" Emotional leadership means being the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer reacts to the room. If it's hot, it shows heat. If it's cold, it shows cold. But a thermostat sets the tone. If she's anxious, you stay calm. If she's angry, you stay composed. If she's hopeless, you stay steady. She doesn't want a mirror of her emotions. She wants a leader who sets a higher standard. Case A, reactive partner Chloe vents to her boyfriend Matt about her friend drama. Matt instantly gets emotional too, saying, "Wow, that's awful. I'd be furious if I were you." Instead of calming her, he fuels her fire. Now they're both angry. Case B, leadership partner. Chloe vents to her other friend, Daniel. Daniel listens, nods, and says calmly, "That sounds rough, but I know you'll handle it." Chloe feels calmer just from his tone. His frame led her emotions into steadiness. Matt reacted. Daniel, led Epictetus, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Emotional leadership means choosing your state first. Calm, steady, grounded before responding to her. You don't get pulled into her storm. You invite her into your calm. Marcus Aurelius reminded, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her emotions are outside events. Your reaction is your domain. Emotional leadership is mastery of yourself in order to guide others. Her problems are your training ground for emotional leadership. Don't just mirror her feelings. Set the tone. When you remain the thermostat instead of the thermometer, you prove your strength. And that strength makes her respect and desire you more deeply. Point 10. Problems filter out the wrong women. Problems filter out the wrong women. Here's the other side most men miss. Sometimes the way a woman brings you her problems reveals whether she's worthy of your presence. Because not all problems are the same. There's a difference between a woman sharing vulnerably to build intimacy and a woman dumping endless chaos on you because she refuses to grow. Her problems aren't just a test for you, they're also a test for her. Psychologists describe this as emotional dumping. Some people don't share problems to connect. They offload to avoid responsibility. If a woman constantly blames the world, refuses solutions, and drains your energy, she's not building intimacy. She's projecting chaos. Your job as a stoic man is to discern the difference. Is she sharing because she trusts you, or is she unloading because she refuses accountability? Case A, unworthy partner. Kelly constantly tells her boyfriend Jake about her endless problems, work, friends, family, but she never takes responsibility or makes changes. Jake sacrifices his peace, but nothing improves. She isn't building intimacy. She's draining him. Case B, worthy partner. Laura also shares her problems with her boyfriend Daniel. She vents, listens to his calm feedback, and sometimes even changes her approach because of his steadiness. She uses his presence to grow. This deepens respect. Kelly drained Jake. Laura respected Daniel. The difference wasn't in the problems. It was in the way the women handled them. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Not every woman qualifies for your presence. If she uses her problems to build intimacy, she's valuable. If she uses her problems to escape responsibility, she's destructive. Epictetus taught, If someone is not showing you respect, walk away. That includes respect for your time, energy, and emotional presence. Her problems don't just test your strength, they filter her worth. A woman who grows through your steadiness is worth your presence. A woman who dumps endlessly without accountability is not. Don't confuse being a stoic rock with being an emotional garbage can. Boundaries protect your power. So remember this conclusion: when a woman tells you her problems, it's not a burden, it's a gift. It means she trusts you. Don't panic. Don't rush to fix. Stay calm. Listen deeply and let your strength do the talking. Because in the end, problems don't push her away. They pull her closer. If you respond with stoic presence, if this video gave you clarity, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Have you ever noticed how she opens up more when you just listen calmly?